Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, or Taku, as you might know me on Twitter, the executive producer here, and I just want to thank you for watching. It really means a lot to us that people watch, listen to, and enjoy our shows. If you want to help us keep making these shows as fun and lively as they can be, please join your fellow fans in supporting us at our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms or by subscribing to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/finalshowfilms. It really means a lot to us that the amount of you who do support us continue to do so, especially our $25 plus tier supporters on Patreon. Antitonic, Cat Waterflame, Samantha Bates, Maureen Monty, and Bradley Alexander. Every little bit helps, so thank you to all of our patrons and subs. Check us out on Twitter at Final Show Films and on our website at www.finalshowfilms.com for updates, go-live notifications, and more. We love interacting with you, so feel free to tweet at us or email us at finalshowfilms@gmail.com. That being said, please relax and enjoy.
Hello, everybody. It works better. Hold on. Hello, everybody. It works better when I turn the mics on.
I'm not in a position to do that.
So, when last we left off, this was Call of Cthulhu. I'm Austin. I'm your storyteller, dungeon master, game master, whatever you want to call that position.
He's
Keeper.
in control of everything you see and
in
hear.
in Call of Cthulhu, it's called the Keeper.
I am the keeper.
Specifically, the Keeper of Secrets.
Yes, I know things that they don't. And then they get to find out about those things, and it makes them lose sanity. And the people who will be losing sanity today are...
There's two of us here. Who are you pointing to?
Hick.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Gora Hozuki, part of the security team.
I would throw again, but I put my hands all up in front of the camera, so if you're wearing a blue sweater...
Okay, I was waiting to take a sip because I wasn't sure. I'm Holly. I am, not Shiana, sorry. I was about to say that's Sandra. Sandra Rosen, something like that.
Rosin as in the bow.
Or Rosen as in the plant.
It's not a difficult last name. I can just never pronounce it. She's an arborist.
All right. Speaking of roses, if you've got a rose on your shirt...
Hey, I'm Rudy. I'm playing Kyle. And nope.
As you
no
check
roses.
your shirt.
I don't know if there's a rose on the shirt.
Yeah, it might have been. It could have been one on the cactus.
Yeah, there could have very easily been on the cactus.
But no, I'm Rudy. I'm playing Kyle, the author of the group.
And if you've got a cactus on your shirt...
Yeah, there's a cactus.
No, you have two.
I do have two.
Yeah,
I do have
right
two. I'm John. I'm playing Gallagher Allenai, the astrophysicist, and I'm wearing the shirt of an event that raised over $800,000 this year.
Huzzah.
awesome.
Good for them.
Is that the most they've made?
Yeah, it was 860 something. So they got really close to 900, and also they broke 6 million. They broke 6 million lifetime, and then started getting close to 1 million for the run. It was kind of amazing.
How many days did it go?
Went till same amount. Went till Friday morning. And, they ended at like 5 a.m. our time.
I know they did the math at one point of how much they would need to raise to go for a full 2 weeks.
Billions.
And it was like more money than exists in the world.
$17 billion.
One day. One day, perhaps.
All right. And with information about raising money for charity aside, that's a good thing. When last we left off, we were going to the heart of the planet, which wasn't as metaphorical as some might have thought, though those who know the system probably weren't expecting it to be all that metaphorical to begin with.
I didn't think it was metaphorical.
I
thought
believe
we
there
were
was a
going to the heart.
conversation where Gallaudet said we need to go to the heart of the planet, and someone's like, "You mean like the center?" It's like, "No, not like it's an actual beating heart."
Yeah.
No, that's what I pictured this entire time.
Yeah. We need to go to the aorta of the planet.
Like I said, people who know the system aren't particularly surprised
We need to find the cockles and subcockles of this planet.
Maybe below the subcockle area, maybe in the kidneys, maybe even in the colon.
Ah, yes.
Let's avoid the colon.
And the kidneys.
Yeah. Let's stay in the heart.
I mean, the heart's not much better.
The heart will take you to the lungs. Very breezy.
Anatomy aside.
Yes. Aside from the anatomy of the body.
Of this planet that we're on.
Yes. Of this planet.
Planetoid.
The planetoid. Well, I mean, it's a body. Is it a planet if it's alive?
Yeah.
Is Unicron a planet?
Yeah. Yes. Unicron. Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Yes, it can be a planet, and technically the Earth is alive too. It's just not alive in the same construct that we assume human beings are.
philosophical debates aside, you will notice that we are missing 2 of our crew members. Unfortunately, as we speak of lungs, their lungs were having issues, bronchitis, nothing major. They'll be back next week.
We can become the
Except
bronchitis
that
of this
we're not
planetoid.
gaming next week.
Wait,
Are we gaming next
I think
week?
we probably are.
Yeah, we
Is
probably are.
everyone in town?
Yeah, we're only off for Thanksgiving. We're not
Perfect.
off for the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Cool. Well, yes, we'll be gaming next week, pending that I don't have some sort of disease going on. Which, who knows on that one. So,
It's a roll of dice. Speaking of rolling dice.
speaking of rolling dice, let's do some. You were traveling down a dark tunnel using the headlights of a Jeep. The security were on motorcycles, and there were vines crawling up the walls,
Right.
transporting some sort of black ichor into this spring.
Have we determined whether or not the plant killer will work on this stuff?
We don't
Yes,
know.
but slowly, I believe.
Yes,
And-
you determined it should kill it, but
I still have that sample.
yeah.
Or I want to call her Shiana. Sandra still has that sample.
So yes, the plant killer would kill it, but slowly, and you don't have enough for this level of infestation. It'd be enough to kill a room's worth.
Well, that's why we stick it in the heart, not the.
Yeah.
We stick it at the core, and then that gives us time to get back to our ship. Anyways.
But it depends on what kind of plant it is. If it's a plant more akin to kudzu, which was a bit of a determination made, then kudzu has multiple crowns that it sets up that can become independent
Have we
organisms if the central organism is killed.
Have we seen any indication of additional like central points or?
Of any other crowns, you
Yeah.
have not seen any indication of crowns. You've seen parts where it roots into the ground. You're not sure enough of the anatomy of the plant where if you were to cut out a crown and plant it somewhere else, if it would grow.
Yeah.
You have not tried to cause this thing to spread.
No,
That's not.
let's not. Last thing we need.
All right. So you're driving down. The doctor will note as you're going down because his helmet, because he's wearing the full suit for protective reasons, has a readout. There is an increasing amount of oxygen.
Yeah, no, we had that discussion
Yeah.
previously.
But as you go deeper into the tunnels, the oxygen is raising up to a breathable level. It would not be comfortable. It would inhibit heavy activity. It would make you feel winded fairly easily, but you could survive if your suit was to breach a leak.
Except for me. 'cause
Except for
I'll
you,
survive
because
regardless, I'm not
you're-
wearing a helmet.
You're breathing the methane, and it's fine. It stinks, by the way.
Yeah, no.
Though the sulfuric smell has definitely increased
Mhm.
as you've gone down, which doesn't make too much sense given that most of the sulfur was in the soil and now you're heading into some sort of platinum type.
Was it platinum or was
Platinum
it?
osmium. It's osmium,
Osmium, yeah.
but osmium and platinum are similar.
Yeah.
Heading into like a osmium platinum tunnel, and there's not really soil anymore.
Yeah, I'll wait to make any more conclusions until we get to where we're going.
Okay. But yes, you travel down until the plants are beginning to cluster more. You're running over them with the Jeep, and it's getting sparse. It's getting to a point where it's about 50-50 plant to.
Are we underground right now? I can't
Yes,
remember.
you are
Okay.
underground.
We drove into a hole, remember?
Okay, sorry. It's been 2 weeks. I'm
You
just
drove into
trying
the
to
mouth
remember.
of a tunnel.
Yep.
And you get to a point where the plants come together and form a web in the center that is preventing passage.
What's the? Is his name still Gora?
Yeah.
Okay. Gora, hold back.
Mm.
Arborist, would you join me, please? and then hop out the
I
jeep.
have a name.
Yes, but it's slightly more fun to refer to you by a job title.
I have a name.
Sandra, would you join, please?
Thank you. Yes.
What was the name of the supposed entity that the master of the plantation was trying to contact when this whole thing went down?
Yylor.
Yylor. That was it.
Which I've surmised might be the planet.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna head over to the plant barrier
I am with him.
and just sort of. Can you tell if this is any sort of centralized structure, or if it's just excess?
Can I tell that?
It's you're trying to determine if there's if this is just more of the vines, or
If it's like the central structure
Sure.
that we are maybe looking for, or part of it.
roll me botany.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to look at it and just sort of. I'd like to make a physics roll just to see like how
What I'm looking for.
if it would be possible to disentangle it without cutting
ripping
through
it. Sure.
Yeah.
13 of 90.
53 of 80.
This is definitely so. What you suspect happened here was, looking at it, it looks like there was a lot of damage done to the vines here, and it's regrown and formed a separate crown.
So it's not part of the central thing we're looking for.
So it is and it's not. It's reconnected with the old part, but it is in itself a separate entity.
It's
If
a
we
heart,
were-
not the heart.
If you were to be looking at this as an animal, think of it like a separate brain. It feeds into the main brain and obeys it, but it has its own ability to function without it.
Okay.
Obviously,
Like a kidney.
plants don't have brains in the same way that you would expect that people do, but they do have the ability to process and react to things, and this has its own ability to do so without the rest of the plant.
So this is part of the central structure, but it's not what we're looking for. It's not the central structure.
And also, this
It's
grew
like
out
an organ.
because something specifically damaged it. You can
Okay.
see points where it was not cut cleanly, but ripped and shredded.
Something damaged this area and it was repairing itself.
Okay, so it'll. Can you tell how quickly it repaired itself, or is that impossible?
Am I able to estimate on that?
Make me another botany roll.
66 of 90.
This is old damage.
Okay.
This happened a long time ago.
It happened a really long time ago. Not
no way to
sure.
tell.
Yeah.
You don't know how quickly this plant grows, but if this plant grew at the same rate as most vines do, it would be at least years to decades. If this plant is longer lived than that, it could be centuries. It's hard to tell without knowing more about this specific plant and how long it tends to live.
Okay.
I did a 53 out of 90 for my, or out of 80 for my physics roll.
So, to fit people through, yes. To fit the Jeep through, the plant doesn't stretch. To get the Jeep through, you would have to make cuts.
Okay.
You can move things around to make a hole probably about 5 foot in diameter.
Could I see a vial of that plant killer you've got?
Sure.
I want
Here
to
you
go. I want to take it. and I want to go back to the portable chemistry lab that we have in the Jeep.
Yep.
And see if there's anything I can do chemistry wise to enhance the potency of this.
Roll chemistry.
6 out of 50. That's an extreme success.
So basically, the way that this works is it causes the plant to be unable to absorb more nutrients. That's the fundamental way it works.
Yeah.
You could enhance it so that it actively puts things that are bad for the plant. If you knew more about this plant and what was bad for this plant, you could definitely alter it so that not only would it cut off it from drawing more resources, but it would actively draw things that are bad for it, but you'd have to have something that's bad for it offhand.
Can I make any assumptions about what might be bad for it based on the fact that it seems to be eating liquid osmium?
It's not the osmium that it seems to be deriving nutrients from. It's the liquefied version of whatever the bronze golden gas is.
Okay.
And you're not even sure how to make that a
Wait.
liquid.
Could I figure out how to make the other gas?
The green?
The green one. Because they seem to be diametrically opposed. Could I figure out how to make that into a liquid form?
You're not sure.
I'm sure I've shunted off some samples into vials, if I was able to.
So the problem is the golden material is very difficult to get to change or do anything. It's super inert. Once you've separated the green stuff, you got a 6 out of 50?
Yeah.
You don't think that you could turn it into a liquid, but if you had the materials, you think you could turn it into, you could aerosolize it with this sort of thing, and because it's a liquid that the plant killer is, you think you're able to aerosolize it and mix it with the aerosol.
Okay.
To spray at the plants, which would cause it to spread wider but be less immediately effective.
Could I try that? Could I aerosolize some of the plant killer and get into a pressurized container?
With the materials you have on hand, give me sort of engineering.
Yes, I've got engineering as well.
Sure, engineer.
Engineering check.
If you can engineer something.
No, that's 79 out of 50.
You don't have an old-fashioned, spray pump, and you don't have anything to pressurize an aerosol.
No.
Or the chemicals needed to. You don't have any chlorofluorocarbons.
So after fiddling with stuff in the Jeep for a while, got everyone to start talking. So I've got an idea, but I don't know how to do it with the materials that we have on hand, of pressurizing the plant seems to be feeding off of a liquidized form of the golden gas from outside. I have samples of both types of gases here. Trying to aerosolize the plant killer and combine it with the green gas into some sort of aerosol can to spray on the plant and see if that has any adverse effects on it, considering that the green and gold... Saying that the plant is feeding off of the golden gas and the green gas is sort of a diametrically opposed aspect to it. I just don't have the ability to form that here.
Do you need an air compressor?
Yes.
Because I have an air compressor.
Why do you have an air compressor?
Because I have everything. I'm prepared.
You have a cat.
No.
You don't have everything.
Could I, using an air compressor, could I...
I mean, yeah, now...
Into not necessarily an aerosol, but into a pressurized
What attachments
can.
do you have to this air compressor?
It literally is purchased as a 60-gallon air compressor.
Could I compress it into a canister that isn't necessarily an aerosol, but could explode?
Not with the engineering roll you made.
No. Is anyone better at engineering things than I am?
I'm better at fixing things. I don't do the design aspect.
Where is engineering?
It's one of the sciences. You pick it when you pick your sciences. So.
Then no.
If you have any sort of skill that would involve jury rigging or...
I have mechanical repair.
Sure, astronomy.
Mechanical repair at half. You're not trying to repair something, you're trying to jury rig, but
Sure, let's see if I can...
mechanical aptitude can work for that.
So your target is half of your normal.
Yeah, I know. I actually made it at 28 out of 32.
Alright. So, if you were to get some tape and allow a slight release valve and tape the hose to the top of the bottle it's in, and then put other stuff in the bottle, and then run the tape over, and then you kind of lift the tape up and hit the air compressor and blast it out. It's not going to be precise. It's not going to be fast. It's going to take you jury rigging to set it up, so it's not something you should whip out and use. But you could use it.
I mean,
You can make it work.
it won't be pretty and it won't be quick, but I can do something.
So here's my idea. Some sort of pressurized can, then. Load it with an aerosolized version of the plant killer and also the green gas. Wedge it into the vines, have everybody step back, see if you can shoot the can so that it explodes the compressed gases into the plant, and see if that has any drastic effect.
I could also just set it on a pole. I could just pull the cable out, which would release it.
That too.
I mean, if you want to make it explode, yeah, that's real easy. You just stick the hose in there, and then you turn on the air compressor from a distance, and it fills up and
Yeah.
No, that works
blows
too.
everywhere.
That works too.
That's
Just
much easier.
Something to combine, so that we can combine the two gases together and then expand them
I
rapidly.
don't know
at the
why.
same
I
time.
just keep thinking there's a slightly singed donkey in a party hat.
That's because we set a donkey with an explosive barrel in.
Yes, I'm just reminded of it. Not that there's a donkey in a party hat in this scenario.
But Tarn's on the ship.
So,
So who knows?
Jim, we do that.
All right.
Flora has one.
So
Don't have a donkey.
who is rigging this?
I mean, I guess I am, because I don't know what the...
Make a luck roll.
Sure. My luck's high. I've barely touched my luck, so... 31 out of my 85 luck.
All right. No one gets hurt.
Good. Glad
So,
you have high luck.
One factor that was not taken into full consideration when making this green gas explode is that the green gas amplifies inertia and has a weird effect on mass. So what happens
It blows
is when
way
you
faster
set
than we
this
thought it
off,
would.
it should just pop and spray stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
However, the particles of liquid have gained in density, and you blasted a decent amount of chunk out of the tunnel itself, in addition to demolishing this plant.
Well, it worked. Not in the way I had hoped it would work.
Thankfully, the way it was wedged, the plant took all the impact,
Yeah.
and everything went forward. You've also stripped a lot of plant off the wall down the tunnel, and made some amount of noise. And injected small pieces of plastic into osmium, which is almost as hard as platinum. Impresses you.
If we could not do that again, that would be wonderful.
I think we might want to do that again at some point in the future when
Well,
there's
once we
something
get further,
threatening on the
just
other
not
side.
right now, when things can hear us and then turn us into one of the little mutant Stitcher things.
Right, there are other life forms on this planet. for sure.
Yes, and they're relatively dangerous.
I forgot entirely about that. Right, okay, well, we know that works now, at least.
Works being
I like... Sorry, I just like that. I just like the way the Gounder completely forgot that there was a threat.
yeah.
It's like,
Why do you think we're here?
We're looking for.
we're looking for the source of the plant infestation of the planet.
We're looking for
Our
what was
crew
his
members.
name again?
Card.
Right.
No, the other guy.
Win.
Card and win.
Win and Card.
That's right.
You completely forgot, didn't you?
Yes.
You just wanted to make something explode. didn't you?
I wanted to see. I didn't know it would explode that hard. I wanted to see what would happen.
If we can continue before
Yes,
our
let's
mates
go.
Moving,
are
shall we?
like turned into
Let's go.
monsters, that would be great.
Awesome. Everybody roll me listen.
I love that in Call of Cthulhu, Galadir is just like, right, people.
Yeah.
Nope. I got 38 of my 28. I did not hear anything.
3. 3 of 25.
46 of 25. I did not get it.
80 out of 25.
I'm the only one that heard
At
anything.
least someone heard
It's
it.
because I don't have my helmet on. That's
Yeah, we'll go with that. You don't have your helmet on, so it's easy for you to hear. As you're traveling down the tunnel deeper, you begin to hear movement
In what direction? Ahead of us?
ahead of you. Also, at this point, the vines have basically taken over. You can barely see the walls anymore.
Yeah.
And oxygen sensors. You're at full oxygenation. You're at like Earth level oxygen.
Cool.
So not full oxygenation. It's not 100% oxygen.
No, it's not 100% oxygen, but
So, with
you can breathe.
through my helmet. So, I've got good news and bad news. Who wants what first?
What's the bad news?
The bad news is I can hear things moving ahead of us.
What's the good news?
We're at actually extremely breathable oxygen levels right now.
It's because of all the plants, probably.
Probably.
Okay, wonderful.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense because plants shouldn't be able to turn methane into oxygen.
No, but
Lots of things
You
on
know.
this planet don't make sense.
I shouldn't be able to breathe the methane.
Fair.
You shouldn't be able to turn methane into carbon dimethane
Everything
oxygen.
that we have seen on this planet shouldn't be a thing.
True.
We've reached the point of absurdity.
Right.
I'm pretty sure we reached that point when we discovered this floating rock.
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
So you're at 21% oxygen.
So, but yes, breathable oxygen levels in this area. So that's good if anything happens to your suits.
Wonderful. Okay. Let's try to get out of here, or let's try to do this as quickly as possible because I'm feeling very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, so if anything that looks like it's part plant starts shambling in front of the Jeep, just hit the gas.
Alright. That's right, I'm driving.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, you're driving because you're the only person in the Jeep that didn't have other essential
Have
skills.
you driven before
No.
anything? Okay, so you
I,
don't know what you're doing.
well, I know what I'm doing. I just don't know any extreme maneuvers if we need to make a
He's
quick
as
getaway.
good at driving as the rest of us are.
Well, I know I'm better at driving than
Other
all of
than,
you are.
that are in the Jeep.
But we need you to kill
You're on a motorcycle
things, not
too.
yourself.
You're on a motorcycle. We're all in the Jeep. I'm all the people in the Jeep.
Yes, that's
He's just as good at driving as anybody else.
Alright. So you keep going down the tunnel, I presume?
We need you to Terminator 2 this with a shotgun. Just
No, with a knife actually.
or a knife. Either way.
My inertia killing knife that I have now.
Yes.
I wonder if I get to keep this. I wonder if I get to keep this.
A miniature knife.
I hope so. Like, you know.
Yep. Okay.
You think we could just take that ability away from the knife?
Austin, I'm gonna have to make you make a keeper ruling in a bit.
Okay.
Just I'll tell you when, but
Excellent.
be prepared to have to make a ruling.
Alright, so you continue to travel down the tunnels.
I wonder if this is going to be like my.
Um,
the thing I said
Terra
earlier.
deck.
We have paper towels down here.
and you
Good to know.
begin
Thing.
to feel a slight breeze. And there's light in the distance.
I see a
I've been
light.
warned my entire life to not go towards the light when you're in a dark tunnel.
Really, I always go towards the light.
That makes sense.
You keep on going, and you, at the source of light, you can see these plants have.
It's cold down here.
This one has a blanket. Would you like a blanket?
You also have a space heater.
Yeah, where's the
Would
space
you
heater?
like a space heater? I'm pretty sure it's in the office still.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Alright.
You reach a point where all the plants are growing out of what looks to be a wall. Just flat,
Like that seems to be the
perfectly
source
smooth.
of the plants.
No, it's like the plants go through this wall, through tiny holes all around the edge of it, and the tunnel just dead ends. And this wall is emitting light.
Sort of tap the wall.
Austin, where can I?
Over there. It's behind those pictures.
Oh.
Or at the end of the table.
There's one here.
It's hollow.
Oh, there's something on the other side of this thing.
This is you can also hear it moving. Pardon, from the other side of this wall.
And there's also probably those things on the other side of this.
Cool.
That light's still working. Those shorted.
No, that thing is drawing a lot of power.
Okay.
So the dimmer is so low.
That thing just shut off.
But that is one light, that's 6, so it's and they're both on the same ampage of wire. So
That's fine.
anyway,
So I've got an idea, but open the field to others.
Blowing more things up, are we?
Not necessarily.
We can still view for each other's like viewpoints, right?
yes.
Except for mine.
Except for yours, because
My viewpoint is the bottom, is the sort of like the floor of the Jeep.
Could I try to see if we can view through wind or cards helmets?
Sure.
I'd like to try to do that while we're stopped and I'm not driving.
All right.
That's Fox ripping up the chair.
You have access to. You can't. You're not in range for Card's helmet, but you are able to find Wynn's helmet viewpoint.
What do I see?
The other side of this wall.
Well, I wouldn't know that.
Looking through, you see a room full of lush green vegetation, and there's a long dining table full of fresh food, fruits, vegetables, a lot of radishes, carrots, potatoes, root vegetables, mostly, but there's some non-root
Potatoes,
vegetables.
they are aliens.
Indeed. And
Supposed to be potatoes.
the room is overrun with rabbits. And the helmet looks like it's set on the table, so it's stationary.
Everyone might want to check out the viewpoint of wind.
Am I gonna like what I see?
Click check.
Grab the helmet.
That's weird.
Click check.
Very.
Does it seem any different to me?
No? Lots of bunnies, lots of fresh vegetables,
That's strange.
bountiful harvest. There's trees lining
Put it down.
the wall.
What's
You
the-
can't see the ceiling of the room, but there seems to be some sort of natural light. It almost looks like you're outside in a clearing that has perfectly been lined with trees, so you can't get around it.
Does anyone know the range of?
Do I know the range of the inner suit visuals? Roughly?
Let me hear mechanical repair.
30? Of my 63?
So these suits are supposed to be good to communicate for up to about 1 kilometer.
But we're
But
tunneling through osmium?
It depends on what you're going through. You really shouldn't be able to, osmium is dense. You shouldn't be able to see through it. They were able to make a link with the visual on Wynn Reddig's helmet, and they saw a room. Looks like it's in a ideal forest clearing, and there's a table in the center full of fresh food, mostly root vegetables, and bunnies are everywhere.
And the helmet seems to be sitting on the table.
Yeah, helmet seems to be sitting on the table. So
Do we
it's
see
stationary.
him?
No.
Yeah, our suit shouldn't be able to tunnel through that much osmium for very long at all, so if it's anywhere, it's close.
This is not good, but on the plus side,
If it
bunnies.
exists at all. It might also just be not actually real feed. It might be somebody or somebody rerouting an artificial video feed through our helmet or through Wynn's helmet.
Or whatever that clearing is could be on the other side of this hollow wall.
That too. Anyways,
I like to think it's real feed.
Could you try stabbing into that wall with your knife?
I can certainly try. See if I can stick the knife into the wall.
No.
Solid wall of osmium.
It's solid osmium.
Solid osmium. Okay.
Can I try and feel around the edges to see if any of these holes exist anywhere?
I mean, you could feel the holes, but they are pinpricks that these vines are coming out of.
Can I grab one of the vines and pull and see if the wall pivots?
How hard are you pulling?
With all of my weight, I guess.
Roll me your...
Size? Strength?
I sit on the
Size?
front of
Size.
the Jeep's hood, like
33 of my
You
85.
rip a vine out.
staring at the wall of light. Could I make any sort of occult or mythos roll while staring at this wall of light to see if I can disbelieve it or see something else?
You make me a mythos roll.
I mean, other side of that, can I push on like one side of this wall to see if
I failed the
it's-
mythos roll. Because my mythos is 5. So.
Yeah, nothing. Pushing on the wall doesn't seem to have any effect on it.
Okay. And I don't think anything short of Guardian's flail is gonna bust this wall down right now.
Glowing wall of osmium. What was Guardian's flail made out of?
The green gas.
Can I apply any of my sciences to try to figure out?
What science do you have?
Botany, biology, and astronomy.
Make me a botany roll.
With my knowledge of physics, can I determine a way to make a shaped charge of that green gas?
Sure.
52 of 90?
I mean, the way these plants are in these
38.
holes, you know how plants work. Plants are incredibly good at ripping through things. If it was to happen that a bunch of these plants were to spontaneously have a growth spurt, it could shred this wall to pieces.
38 on my physics check.
Okay.
This gas is a little unpredictable, but if you put all the pressure behind the gas, you feel like you could make some sort of charge that will blow mostly forward, just don't be close.
So, I have an option.
Can I?
Yeah, while he's talking, while he's presenting his option,
Yes.
you're doing that?
She is going to just silently walk over there. How's the ring work? There's a drop of blood.
Drop of blood. Well, you're going to have to take off part of your suit to do that.
No, we're in an oxygenated atmosphere.
She'll remove,
The suit.
like, yeah.
Okay.
What you doing, Sandra?
Completely silent. And she will drop of blood.
Alright.
I'm watching her now.
Yes, you were talking and then she started doing weird stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm watching.
She started taking her suit off.
She's doing her thing.
Analyzing.
You take 2 points of damage,
Okay. Pencil.
and the blood begins to drip
9 health to 7.
on these vines, and they begin to swell, and their black leaves turn green, and they begin to wrench through this wall.
Occult roll?
100% yes.
24 of 54.
So this ring is definitely an artifact. Looking at it, it's doesn't seem to be. It's definitely supernatural.
Yeah.
You don't think that it's associated with one of the elder gods,
Okay.
based on the fact that watching this happen was freaky, but it hasn't caused any mental damage.
Yeah.
And she doesn't seem to be like in any sort of distress.
Yeah.
So you suspect that it's something that was developed
Similar to my watch.
similar to your watch,
Okay.
supernaturally, but not Cthulhu,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word.
Not part of the mythos.
Not part of the mythos. The rest of you
I know about it.
just, you don't.
I've had a
Oh,
conversation.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You have to have a conversation. The rest of you just saw that, and it was a little freaky. So,
Where'd you get that ring?
Where'd you get the watch?
Uh,
Told you I wanted to talk to you later.
but yeah, over the course of the next 5 minutes, have you ever seen a time lapse of a plant growing in the wedge between concrete?
Yep.
And how it just sort of like caused it to crack and shatter? It's that.
I found the watch with this book. I say, holding up a journal that I've been bringing with me.
We will talk when this is done, okay? When we get a moment, you and I will have a little chat.
Yes.
Preferably over coffee.
Sure.
as enough of the edge of this wall begins to crack out, it weakens down and it just falls out. And again, the vines have turned green. The ones that the blood touched.
Any strawberries?
No. And beyond.
I'm going to take a quick cutting of one of the green vines and see if the insides are still black.
No, it begins dripping out blood.
Blood vine.
Welcome to Code Vein.
You're not sure exactly how blood turns something green, but, you're also not sure how this ring works.
Yeah, no.
It definitely doesn't use science. Science is not part of the equation. But as the wall falls out, there is a beautiful glade in front of you.
Where is that helmet? Just sitting on the table?
No, not the same one.
Okay.
It's just like a large meadow.
Where are the things that were making moving noises?
Well, are there bunnies?
Yes.
Sandra's gone.
So it looks like the moving noises were mostly there's a very consistent wind going one direction for several seconds, then stopping, then blowing back, then stopping, then blowing in.
We're in a
then
lung.
Stopping, then blowing back, then stopping, and the trees are swaying with it, and the grass is going with it.
It has bunnies in its lung.
We're in a lung. I just say out loud.
Sandra's chasing bunnies.
Well, this is sort of the way to the heart, if it's the lungs, I guess.
The bunnies are perfectly sociable and let you frolic with them.
She is cuddling some bunnies right now.
What do they eat? Gallagher uses out loud.
I mean, there's grass here, right?
Yeah. There's a
Are
lot
they
of
like-
bunnies around you now. Like dozens of bunnies. All gathering on you. In fact, the rest of you, the bunnies are beginning to gather on you as well.
Get off of
Okay.
me.
I'm going to spend a
really
magic
cute.
point and
But-
hold up the Vorish sign, or the sign of power.
What's that one doing again?
That's the one. This is part of why I'm going to keep it rolling later, because so the sign of power is a magical sign that enhances the effects of spells.
Okay.
It also serves to ward off otherworldly creatures, because most creatures that are of the mythos recognize the sign as the sign of a sorcerer, and will hold off until they figure out what the sorcerer is trying to do, because it could be something good, it could be something dangerous, but either way, it's sort of a warning.
Yeah, it's like,
It
hey,
serves
I'm
as a
about to
warning.
do something. Would you
Yeah.
mind?
Particularly when when there is actively power channeling through it, which is why I'm spending a mana point to actively channel power through it.
The bunnies begin to back off from you. The rest of you see him making this weird symbol with his hand.
I just sort of hold my hand up like this. You should all get away from the bunnies.
Or
Yeah,
has their knife out.
they're cute and all, but I'm getting a bad vibe off of them.
Anything that reacts negatively to this sign, you want to get away from.
Start moving away.
The bunnies don't want you to move away. The bunnies are keeping around you.
I'm going to... Okay. I'm spending 10 sanity, I think. Unless you want to convert it to magic points or something. I'm going to carve... Or sorry, no, I'm spending 10... I'm spending 10 power unless you want to convert it to sanity.
Converting that to sanity.
Okay, so yeah,
That's fine.
I'm going to spend 10 sanity to carve an elder sign into the Jeep. Into the front of the Jeep.
So that eldritch beings can't,
They can't pass through it, yeah. They can't get into it, basically.
Alright.
Everyone get in the Jeep while I'm doing this.
Working on
And I'm going to hold the sign up
Alright.
while I'm carving this.
As you're carving the sign, how long does it take to carve? Does it say?
An action.
An action?
Yeah.
Alright. The bunnies don't like that.
No, they won't.
So, let's initiative.
How do we initiative again?
Initiative is a D10 roll.
Yeah, it works. So the elder sign works weird. If you put it on a doorway, nothing can pass through that doorway.
Yeah, if you put it on a thing, nothing can enter the thing.
If you put it on a person, nothing can touch where that sign covers.
Yeah.
If you put it on an object, it depends on the keeper. Like, I imagine putting it on the Jeep would mean that they can't get into the Jeep.
Yeah.
What are we adding? Taking away from?
Your initiative, you add your...
Your initiative is just your dex score.
Yeah, just your dex.
It's just your dex score.
Divided by
So
10
we're
or
not-
the full
No,
number?
just the full number.
So
Your dex is your initiative.
Are we not rolling?
You don't roll.
Oh, sorry. I thought you rolled for
Yeah,
something.
no, you don't roll. Your dex is just
okay.
your initiative.
Cool.
Well, my dex is 70.
I'm thinking the old stuff.
Yeah.
My dex is 70.
55.
65.
40.
And if you tie with the monster, player goes first.
Yours was 60?
65.
55.
55. Yeah, no, they simplified it for 7th edition.
Okay.
Should have worn my Be Sarcastic Never Bunny shirt today.
So how many of you got out of the Jeep to begin with?
I'm sitting on the hood.
You got out of the Jeep. You're in a motorcycle.
Probably swarmed by bunnies.
I'm driving, so I probably didn't get out.
All right. So, Gorais, you go first. You witness several of the bunnies jump into a pile and begin shredding each other apart, and out of the viscera and gore emerges this hulking humanoid bunny thing covered in the viscera and guts of dozens and dozens of bunnies with a grotesque face and about half a dozen ears that come out of the top of its head and down the back of its spine, and it's just drenched in blood, and it has all of its fingers are ending in mouths with oversized fangs. Roll me sanity, everybody.
Here's a couple years of therapy.
48 of my 65.
37 of my now 44.
Really?
I need to talk to a psychiatrist for a bit to regain some sanity.
80 of 80.
30,
Makes it.
Yes! Okay.
35 of 65.
All right. Freaky, but you all keep your cool.
Busy focusing on the sign that I'm carving.
You're just like, that's dope.
Not normal.
Gora's response is a Gora response, which is, fuck that, draw the railer and fire.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
Get in the Jeep.
And yeah, get in the Jeep while I'm shooting.
Working on it! So much fluffy death.
It's not fluffy anymore.
21.
Shed the fluff.
It's fluff. There's got hair. It's just drenched in blood.
That's 21 to shoot the thing in the head.
21 to shoot the thing in the head.
I no longer want to
So
round it.
it makes a dodge roll.
Yes, and then you...
The quality of it, if it succeeds, the quality of its success
Yeah.
sets what target he's trying to hit.
Yeah. But a 98 means that no, it didn't dodge.
So it doesn't matter. So just a basic success hits.
Blast this thing's head off, I guess.
Yeah. So like just for clarification, so when you make a dodge roll,
Yeah, that one I knew.
if the dodge is an extreme success, you've got to make an extreme success to hit. Is the way that balances out. The dodge ups your difficulty if it succeeds. Which I think is a very clean way of doing that.
32 points of damage. To its
Ow.
face.
Mm-hmm. Railers are good.
Yes, railers are very good. And I'm getting in the Jeep.
You blow the thing's head off, and it collapses. And now it's the bunny's turn. So, a dozen more bunnies jump into this thing and gnaw their way into it like maggots, and the thing gets back up. Still headless. And...
Please let that be their turn.
let's see if it wants... It's got 3 people it could go for. Go for the person who's had the most bunnies. You go for the person who's blasted its head off. Or it could go for the person who is signing that sign that it does not like. We're going to roll my D3. Yeah, Yes, Scientific American. I know that your website is up. Please
Also, for those watching at home, to give you an idea of how of the damage to health level ratio, you just did 30-something damage to that monster.
Yeah.
I've got 10 hit points.
Oh, I need you to make a mark by your railer.
Yes.
I'll be right back. There's a crying child.
Okay.
Pencil somewhere. Thank you.
There's a crying child. This isn't FNAF.
Where's my D3? Did I put it back in the box? Like,
Or is it? FNAF would be a really creepy Call of
1,
Cthulhu
2,
situation.
3.
Yeah.
1.
Oh, God, I'm
right.
gonna run that now. I'm gonna run that for Holly's birthday. We're gonna do a FNAF game for Holly's birthday.
So, John, this thing does not like that you're trying to make signs that ward against it.
I imagine.
It attacks you. It
What's a fifth of 47?
if it like 10.
Damn. Okay, 13. So it's a hard difficulty, not an extreme. I was
You said 47?
actually no. I'll subtract 3 points from my luck roll to make it an extreme.
Good, because it made a hard. Because it rolled a 19.
So I make it an extreme roll by subtracting my roll down to 10.
So, while signing this thing, you were in front of the Jeep, and you do like a somersault over the hood and into the thing while still signing. And the thing smashes into the ground. All right, Rudy,
Stay in the Jeep.
you're in the Jeep.
I'm in the Jeep.
The
Turn
thing
it
is
on.
in front of the Jeep.
Turn the Jeep on.
I did say run things over.
And he's in the Jeep now, so I guess.
You're in the Jeep now?
There's
I'm on the hood.
8-foot tall bunny thing in front of you.
I'm still on the hood. I'm not in the Jeep fully.
Just turn the engine on, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably like on the roof of the thing, leaning over the
Yeah,
hood.
yeah. I'm not in the way if you hit the gas. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but you're not exactly in a position to hold on if he hits the gas.
That's also fair.
Yeah, no.
Which would probably interrupt the sign, which is the thing that protects us from it.
He's drawing something on the hood.
Yeah.
You're not sure what.
He's kind of on the hood right now?
He's kind of on the top of the car, leaning over the windshield.
Okay.
So half your vision is him, half your vision is blood-soaked bunny.
Okay, I'm going to back up a little bit.
And just be like, bye.
What's happening?
I did an extreme dodge to get out of the way of the bunny thing.
The
trying
bunny
to kill me.
dove at him, and he somersaulted on top of the
Can
Jeep.
we really call it a bunny at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, how would you feel about doing a FNAF themed Call of Cthulhu game for your birthday?
A what? I'd like to do something else for my birthday.
Okay,
Um,
fine.
So,
I have ideas.
by the way,
idea of running
roll,
FNAF
make me a
5 Nights at
Cthulhu
Freddy's.
mythos roll
Sure.
upon seeing this creature.
29. No, or 26.
Okay, cool. That's definitely a thing.
Definitely a thing.
Interestingly, I did not make up this thing.
Yeah, no.
Because Call of Cthulhu mythos
Has some
is
weird things.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Kind of the point.
This is actually like Yylor. You didn't make up either.
Nope, didn't make him up either.
Yylor has the bunny servants.
Is this yours?
Yep. And John, what you doing? You're drawing
I'm
this
finishing
part.
that sign.
All right, you
That
were
was one of
able to
mine.
finish
And
the
for some
sign.
reason I thought that's where the leg came from, so I pressed
Finish the
stop
sign
on
and
that.
view it with
It's
power.
sharp.
All right, you finish the sign and view it with power. You're still on top of the Jeep at the second, and from what you know of the sign, the bunny is not prevented from going on top of the Jeep.
No,
The bunny just can't get into the
So you have actions and moves on your turn.
Yes.
So I'd like to move into the Jeep after I finish drawing the sign.
All right.
He's next
So you
to
slide
Rose
in
with
through
pretty
the,
rough with the-
Through the window.
Now, the way that this Jeep works is actually it's one of those doors-off Jeeps.
Yeah.
It doesn't have doors, so you can just slide in.
Yeah.
Rough,
So
and then after that, it's got
after sliding in the Jeep, I will call out, "Get into the Jeep! It can't get in."
I think all of us are in the Jeep now.
No.
I'm not.
You're not in the Jeep.
I said after I shot it, I moved into the Jeep.
Oh, okay.
I was frolicking
And-
with the bunnies.
Sandra, your turn.
Okay, are there still bunnies around me right now? are they all
Most of the bunnies crawled into the corpse of the bunny thing after it got its head blown up, and when it stood back up. But there's still bunnies around you. But there's also a Jeep.
She's going for the Jeep.
All right. You dive into the side of this Jeep, and now you are. I'm assuming other characters in the Jeep is getting a little crowded. It's really meant for 4 or 5 people, but
There's
It'll
only
be
6 of us, it's
fine.
fine.
It'll be fine.
We're one person over capacity, but you know.
I no longer want a bunny. Ever.
Is it Sandra or you?
Sandra.
Okay.
all right.
Now, let's make a bunny more appealing for Holly.
Yeah.
Gora, what are you doing?
Pulling my knife out and just sort of holding it ready if this thing tries to go around the side of the Jeep that I'm at to stab it in the face.
All right.
Neck stump, I guess.
So this bunny is going to approach the rush around the edge of the Jeep, and it's just sort of standing there.
Does it get onto my side of the Jeep?
It's about a foot away from the door on
Don't lash out at it.
your side.
That's her instinctive reaction. She's got the inertia killing knife, so she stabs it in the chest, I guess.
Awesome. So go ahead and roll me your attack.
Fighting roll.
You're gonna get yanked out of the Jeep.
I mean, you know, instincts die hard.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. I'll make
So
it,
do security
I make
officers.
I make an extreme success, so.
Okay. Yeah, 69 does not dodge.
So, I don't know what extra things this trench knife has on top of its normal stuff with the inertia killing.
No, you don't.
So I'm just gonna do a regular trench knife real quick. Nice.
That's been my issue. That's been my problem on the Monday Call of Cthulhu game is that I keep my monsters can't dodge. I never roll a successful dodge roll.
13 damage.
Cool. You lash into the thing's arm, and as blood begins to pour out, so does the corpse of a dead bunny. It just sort of like squeezes its way out of this thing's arm. Your arm left the Jeep. It's going to try to grab you.
Do I roll anything to react to that, or
You can roll me dodge to avoid it grabbing you.
cool? That makes it. That makes it extreme.
Awesome. Because it, again, made hard. The thing reaches out to your arm, and you duck back. You dart it in and out real quick. And it fails to grab at you. Rudy. Everyone's in the Jeep.
Gore is left-handed, I have determined.
Alright, is there anywhere we can go in this area? Just
There's a lot of places that aren't right here. There's straight, there's left, there's right,
Drive
there's back through the
straight.
tunnel.
Yep. Just
Run it over.
It's off to the side.
I mean, I will note. So we're going to make the tunnel you just left south.
Mhm.
There's not really a north, south, east, west, but we're going to call that south.
Yeah.
The wind is blowing east, west, east, west, east, west, and you can go straight to go north.
Alright. Let's go north.
Bolt ahead.
Yep, let's go north. Let's go not here.
You go perpendicular to the wind.
Yep.
All right. So you slam the gas, and you begin taking off. And this Jeep, as I said before, is capable of about 40 to 50 miles an hour, depending on how well it's going. You're running this thing at about 45. This rabbit thing is following you about the same speed.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. This is why my next run was needed.
So what are you guys doing as Rudy is...
So
make me a driving check.
Oh boy. Driving?
Yeah.
Drive auto? I guess that's...
Yeah,
Yeah.
drive auto.
How about it?
Did you almost make it?
31 out of 20.
Oh.
would you like to
Yeah.
wait?
Where-
Yeah, the 20. So that's 11.
11 luck.
11 points of
11.
luck can make that a success.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. So as you're driving, plants, flowers specifically that were in the ground begin reaching up and trying to grab at the Jeep, and you begin swerving back and forth. It's hard. The grass makes the ground unusually slick, but you manage to just barely hit the slightly rockier bits of ground and keep your wheels in traction, and the plants that do get towards your wheels, you're able to get traction on and break out of and keep going.
So I'm going to climb into the back of the Jeep where I have a clear view of the bunny that's chasing us. As I do, Sandra, you might want to reattach your suit outfit.
Oh, yes.
Activating the Vorsh sign, and then I'm going to cast Smite Thy Foe. Or Smite Down Thine Enemy. So the question that I ask is, because the Vorsh sign enhances spells.
Sure.
It doesn't say how.
Fair.
So that's a ruling that you'll have to make.
Yeah.
Smite Down Thine Enemy is variable magic points as well as a bit of sanity. And basically it is a wave of force that knocks into something and can knock it down or blow it back away.
Sure.
The results of being knocked down and being blown back away are at the keeper's discretion. So, like, it can either just knock it over and it goes for a spin, or it can kill things depending on what it is. But
I'll leave it up to. Are you aiming to hit it vital organ or center mass?
I am center mass. I'm trying to
You're trying to shove
it back as far as possible and potentially into something if something
Sure.
presents itself. I'm going to invest 6 points of... I'm going to invest all 10 because we're getting away from it, and magic comes back fairly quickly.
10 magic points?
All 10 magic points that I have left into it. So it's been enhanced with the Vorsh sign, for whatever that means.
Yeah.
So basically, every point invested is 2d10 of strength. So 20d10 of strength is what this thing is going to have.
Awesome.
It's going to be opposed, the strength of the spell versus its con, an opposed roll.
Yeah.
And if successful, which is again the strength sets what it has
Yeah.
to make.
Go ahead and roll me your.
So first I have to determine the strength of the strength of the blow.
Ominous. All I see is your hand with dice.
So that's 6 right there. Here, I'm just gonna do it in groups of 5 because that's easier for me to keep track of. 7 plus 7 plus 9 plus 10 plus 2.
7 plus 7, 14, 9, 23, 10, 33, 2, 35.
Okay. That's 5. 35. 1, 2, 1, 3, 7.
That one sucked.
Yeah, that one sucked.
Plus 14, 49.
49. That's 10. 1, 5, 9, 5, 3.
23, so 72.
72. 8, 4, 4, 4, 3.
8, 4, 4, 4, 3. 23. So 94.
94. Okay. So it's a strength of 94 on the blast. The strength, so it pushes back the target. So first it's opposed. So
Roll your strength.
that's 27, which makes that. Is 27 less than a fifth of?
That's
90?
hard. It's not extreme.
It's hard,
Okay.
not extreme.
So it's a hard roll. It's a hard. Actually, no. Sorry, it's opposed. It's just whoever rolls better. So and it still succeeds.
They rolled.
Con. If successful, it gets knocked back. If successful, it gets knocked unconscious. If it fails, it still gets pushed back.
Cool. So
And it gets pushed back a number of feet equal to strength minus size. So 97 minus its size.
you send out a wave, and as the wave hits its center mass, it explodes into a cascade of dead bunnies that just litter the ground.
So, from everyone else's perspective, you recall that he has a tattoo on his arm.
Yeah.
He bites his thumb, runs the blood across the tattoo, and shoves his hand. And there is a slight glow of the tattoo before just a pulse of air erupts out from his palm.
And this
Yeah, we're
bunny
gonna be talking
dives
later.
into this pulse,
I lose 2
and
points of
as the
sanity.
pulse touches it, the thing just returns to the form of eviscerated bunnies.
Star Killer level force push.
Yes.
Uh,
I just see this in the rearview mirrors.
Yep. And you keep it in the rearview mirrors, I presume?
Huh?
You keep it in the rearview mirrors?
Yep.
All right.
It's good to have a wizard back.
All right.
I'm wondering how much of this
See that,
I need to keep in where I write.
and then just sort of like
No,
collapse
it-
in the
Okay.
back seat.
Okay.
That was a lot.
You want to switch positions? You want me to drive?
Well, since you're here now, you'd probably be better at it.
Sandra, are the things still coming up and trying to like grab at
As
the
you get
jeep?
further away from the bunnies, it seems that the ground is less hostile too.
Okay. Okay.
I think we'll
Then
leave that
she'll
if
hold
we
off.
need to make
What she
a
was gonna do.
drastic getaway. I
I'm
think
just
I've
gonna
said
be car sick over here for a minute.
we might need you to
She'll just sit back
take
with
care of
Palladio for a
any
minute.
dangers.
I will note you were down your motorcycles.
Yeah.
Can I do anything?
I just need to breathe.
Okay.
Coffee'd be great.
We don't have
It
that.
would be awesome.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's back on the ship.
Good work, wizard.
I don't know why you're calling me that, but I'll take it.
I mean, you know tales of wizards.
Yeah, yeah. More of a sorcerer, really.
More of a warlock?
No, that's not a mythos spell.
Fair.
That's not a mythos spell.
Fair.
That's a regular spell.
Mythos spells cost a lot of sanity. I
Yeah,
feel.
mythos spells are way worse.
Yeah. But
They're
way
way,
more powerful.
way stronger, but they cost way more sanity.
Yeah, mythos spells are things like wither the limb, which are you grab somebody and their limb withers.
It's bad for you, is what we're saying. Alright, so. Yeah, you keep driving. And this meadow just keeps going on.
Okay, so
You do feel that the wind, which when you first entered was strictly east to west, has become more of a southeasterly, southwesterly wind. So it seems to be pulling towards a point that's east or west of the entrance.
Yeah.
Like from a definitive point, not a whole...
It's all coming
Stop.
around a point and going
stop,
out from that
stop
point.
the
rather
jeep for a
than-
minute, please.
I stop.
Okay.
What is it?
All right. So
How long does that warning sign last?
forever.
Good.
Nothing that is of the. Okay, how do I explain this? All right. I'm gonna have to do some explaining real quick to everyone in the car. There are things in this universe that defy explanation. You've seen a couple of them already. Things like that bunny monster thing. I've been studying them for years. And they are what we refer to as of the mythos. They're mythological creatures that are just happen to be real. There are these things in the world called elder gods, and they're kind of gods in your traditional religious sense, but also in the sense of giant monsters whose very existence warps reality around them and can bend the minds of those that witness them.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm pretty certain we're on or in one right now. And that it's what the master of those people was trying to get to. I'm pretty certain that that bunny thing is either a part of it or a part of another one. And so, all that aside, the mark I put on the car means that they can't get into it.
Ever?
Ever. They can't touch it, they can't get in. So the Jeep is a safe place. Sorry, the spell I cast really took a lot out of me.
And you can cast spells?
Yes, I can cast spells as well. That's
Like-
the thing that I did.
Wizard, like she called you.
I mean, yeah, I guess. More of a sorcerer thing, but, doesn't really matter. Yeah. There are things in this world that defy the laws of the world as we understand it, and they are things that I am particularly interested in investigating and finding more about. I'm also pretty certain we need to follow the direction of the wind,
Okay.
because the wind, if I'm operating under the assumption that we are inside an elder being, then following what manner of biology that I can think of, we're in sort of around the lungs area.
Okay.
So if we're looking for the heart of this planetoid, we're going to want to follow that up and see if we can't figure out a way to get further around. Now,
Well, I think the heart is where we're trying to go. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
probably where they are if they're still alive.
Also, the vision of Wind showed us a field of bunnies. Wind's probably dead. If the way those bunnies reacted to us is any indication, Wind's probably dead. I don't know about Card.
Well, Card's helmet isn't anywhere in range, so it's probably not near here.
I mean, he might be though. Osmium.
He's not anywhere near where Win is at, I should say, because Win was in range.
Yeah.
Are you checking the things again?
Check to see if Card's in
Oh,
range.
you can get cards now.
What's Card's helmet showing
Get
me?
out of this alive
Mm-hmm.
and get back to the ship. And if Card is dead, we're going to be murdered by his father.
Well, the person who let him on the ship is going to be murdered by his father.
Yes.
So,
But we might all get claimed.
unlike the other helmet, this helmet seems to have mobile viewpoint. It's also not in a happy-go-lucky meadow.
It's being worn, and someone's running in it.
It's being worn. There's a chamber. It's currently in a chamber. You can't get a proper speaker feed for some reason, and the video is really spotty, but you're catching glimpses. It's a room full of tubes with humanoid figures in them.
Oh, wonderful.
It's the first room you've seen that's plant-free. And there is one of the Kratori standing in the middle of the room, perfectly still, except moving its head around.
The Kratoria, the plant people.
No, the
like
Kratori
Guardian.
They're
are
like
the
Guardian.
big
Oh,
white
like Guardian.
Which means we're
Okay.
gonna die.
Except this one, instead of being blue, is red tinged. And it also has a chain with a ball at the end made of that gold bronze
That
material.
was gold rather than green.
Pardon?
His ball and chain is gold rather than green.
The chain is gold, the ball is green.
Alright.
Unlike Guardian's, which was completely green.
So I'm assuming because I can't get speaker feed, I'm assuming I also can't get a comm link established to this helmet.
No. And the visual you're getting, it's catching in and out. Like, it's little frames of movement. Like, you know when you're getting a bad video quality?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Just skipping frames, yeah.
and so it's more like intermittent pictures.
Yeah. I've got a very, very weak signal from Card. He's
Video?
definitely not in this room.
I'll put the helmet on. I'll look at it. Is there anything I can pick up out of it?
Make me a luck roll.
100.
Haha, you get nothing.
I'm not seeing anything.
I've got intermittent frozen images basically, but it's moving. He's still wearing the helmet and moving.
I'm trying to figure out how fast it. I know magic points come back fairly quickly. I just don't remember how fast.
But he's definitely not in this room. The room he's in seems to be completely free of plant life, so if we can figure out our way out of here. There's also tubes with people inside. I can only imagine. It's plant free, so I can't imagine this is where Stitched are being made. It might be where Kratori are being made.
Possibly. I'm not. I'd have to see it for myself to tell you.
I mean, I'll see if I can save some of the still images and send them to his.
Yeah, you can transmit some images.
Yeah.
Looking at it, can I tell anything about it? like just from the general structure? Does this fit into my idea of these people are sacrifices for the planet?
There's definitely people in tubes. You don't know if they're like the people in there are way fuzzy, so you can't make out if they're people or if they're humanoid things or if they're plant monster people or what.
From cards helmet.
But there's silhouettes that are people shaped in the tubes, and one of the Kotori in the middle of the room. Whatever conclusions you can draw from that, or whatever you can draw from that.
I know magic regains at like, I feel like it's like either a point per minute or a point per, or like you're fully regained in an hour or something like that. But it's fairly quickly they regain. I just can't.
Yeah,
I just can't
I'm
remember
looking it up.
If you're looking, it'll be under
Yeah.
the grimoire. I think it'll be in the grimoire area somewhere over there. Anyways,
Let's see.
so with just based on this image, it could be that it's where they're making things. It could be the stomach. It could be where this thing is digesting these people, and that thing is guarding the food.
1 point per hour.
1 point per hour. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to do that again for a while.
Well, let's
Unless you spend hit points. You can spend hit points
I
as
mean,
magic
yeah,
points.
I can spend hit points as magic points. Yes, I've only got 10.
Hey,
So
man!
you can do that one more time and die.
If it gets bad,
You can do that level of spell exactly one more time and then die.
yeah.
Well, you don't die when you go to 0. You die for getting hit.
You die. You die if you go to 0 if you have a major wound.
Yeah. If you go to 0, the way I've rolled it and you don't, is you get a major wound.
Yeah, you get a major wound, but you're unconscious at the
You're
moment.
unconscious, yes.
So like, I could do that one more time, and I'd just be unconscious and useless for a while. Anyways,
You just said you need to do it that powerfully.
no,
You
but
just use 9.
just use 9. Anyways,
Then you can make a roll to remain conscious.
did it seem like that thing died when I hit it? When it exploded?
I mean,
in bunnies?
it got its head blown off and it fell down, and then bunnies got it and it got back up. So died is a relative term.
Right. They can't touch the Jeep, so we should be fine to drive past them. If we want to turn around and start following the breath.
Sorry, repeat that. Sorry.
The creatures can't touch the Jeep, so we should be safe so long as we all stay in it. And we want to turn around and follow the breath.
Okay.
Alright.
Sounds good. Not good, but good idea.
Good is relative.
It's a plan.
You want me to take over for driving?
I think at this point,
Probably
yes.
going to get rough.
Yeah.
I'm twice as good as all of you. That doesn't mean I'm great, but I'm twice as good.
Cool. You drive. I'm just going to collapse back here for a bit.
Alright,
I don't want to die here.
so you're driving at an angle towards
Towards the breath, yeah.
I don't want to turn anyone.
Which way? East or west?
That too.
So,
That's
I mean,
amazing.
it's gone from going east-west to now going that way.
Did you get your read?
So,
So
the
if
way the
it's-
wind goes is it goes east first, then west first, then east, then west, then east,
But
then
now,
west.
as we've gone north, it started going down southeast.
Southeast, southwest, southeast,
Is it
southwest.
southeast, southwest, or southeast, northwest?
Oh yeah, no, it'd be because it would be angled. Yeah, southeast, northwest.
So we're going southeast then, because the
Yeah.
point that is angling from
Yes.
is the center point. So we're going to
Gotcha.
go towards southeast.
There you go.
Where did Sandra get her ring?
Hmm?
Where did Sandra get her ring?
You can't remember. You had it.
Had it my whole life?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as you can remember.
So you begin driving. As you begin driving, the meadow begins shifting in appearance.
With this journal.
It goes from being a very idyllic meadow
Can I get my 2d10s back?
to becoming
Sorry.
a bit more like steppe. There's rocky bits of this osmium
okay.
growing out of the
Sorry, I'm playing
ground
with
that
them.
vines have overgrown. It looks more like a ruin, that has been
also, like,
overgrown and
notes
less like a
about
perfectly
the
clean
mythos
meadow.
and Cthulhu mythos. And then if you studied it, you'd probably get some points in your Cthulhu mythos score.
And
She's
then,
so I'm just looking through the journal that I have, the one that gave me my 5 points of Cthulhu mythos.
all right, you want to do that?
She'd have to read the full thing to get the points, but
He handed it to me.
Roll me sanity as you start reading it, though.
Oh, wonderful.
it's a bunch of
Okay.
mathematical gibberish and also
kidding me?
words.
Why do I always roll high when I roll sanity? 84 of 80. Why? Every time?
I'm gonna swiftly become the most sane person in the party.
80 of 80 was the lowest I rolled on sanity.
You lose some sanity.
The high sanity was supposed to help.
You lose 1 sanity.
Okay, that's not that bad. You have to think something.
As you're reading through, you quickly close the book as the equations begin burning into your mind, and you can't get them out. And you just close the book and like, nope.
Take
Take it back.
Can't. No.
It's not easy to read.
Yeah. Rained on fire.
I forget, is Sandra awakened?
No.
Does that awaken Sandra?
No.
Oh, that would be hilarious if it awakened Sandra, but not Gallagher. No, Gallagher's not.
If Sandra awakens in the way that she typically does, she's going to get shot. That's how she awakened originally.
No, Sandra, Duncan, and Gallagher are not awakened.
Yeah, the other 3 are.
The other 3 are.
See, that side of the table's awakened.
This side is not.
isn't.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. All right, but yeah, as the train becomes more like, and as you get closer, roll me spot hidden.
Sure,
Everybody.
see if I can
Everybody?
do anything with that.
See if you spot things that are not normal.
4
Oh my!
out of 50.
99 of 50.
Hey, 99 of 25!
I'm not seeing
Eyes on
anything.
the road. Eyes on the road.
68 of 50.
I'm not looking for things that are hidden. I'm looking for things that are obvious and charging at me.
You're looking for bunnies.
Yeah.
So I can run them over with this newly enchanted Jeep.
Yes. Run over the bunnies with the magic jeep.
Seems legit.
Take that, Miss Frizzle.
Get on the magic sheep bus.
Beep, beep.
Get on the
The magic Cthulhu bus. That's a show.
I
Get
mean,
out of the
the,
room
Magic
with them.
the Magic School Bus may very well have been a Call of Cthulhu like series.
It's a spin-off of Magic School Bus, Cthulhu Bus.
Oh god, now I want to make like right next to the Five Nights at Freddy's Call of Cthulhu game, a Magic School Bus Call of Cthulhu game.
It's just a combination of that and
Your teacher is taking you on a field trip again.
The tone has shifted slightly.
Not another field trip.
All right,
You realize that one kid that never wanted to go was right all along.
Arnold.
Yes, Arnold.
Always trust the redhead.
I mean, he did get trapped in a human body at one point.
Miss Frizzle was a redhead.
Fair.
I mean, Arnold also froze his head because he was dumb enough to take his helmet off on Pluto, though. So, you know.
He was proving a
Which
point.
clearly means he's a Cthulhu monster
Badly.
because
Yeah,
he
he
survived
survived.
Pluto.
With a slight cold, which I never understood.
Alright, so you find among the rubble the frozen head of Arnold. No, I'm kidding.
Betrayal!
You find what looks to be a support beam, like from a building. It's been completely overgrown, but you see some peeking out of it. It looks like an iron support bar.
Hold for a minute. Can I tell what's attached to?
No, it's all buried in vines. You'd have to pull shrubbery away.
Looking around for buddies.
Let me spot hidden.
Spot the bunny. These are not like Terraria.
7%.
They're kind of like Terraria bunnies.
Actually, yeah.
Ever seen Terraria bunnies in a blood moon?
Yeah, I said Terraria bunnies and Blowy
No.
become bunny zombies.
Bunny, no, bunny.
This become possessed demon bunnies.
7 of 50.
7. Okay. You don't see any bunnies. No bunnies. Nothing moving.
Okay.
Except for in the wind.
Nothing moving. Are we still on the way back to the meadow, or are we?
You're on your way. You're on your way to the lungs.
Where are we?
You took a. You
Okay, so we passed it. Okay, so.
as you get closer to the source of breath, it's become less meadowy and more overgrown ruiny.
I'll point out without leaving the jeep. I'll point out that there's some structural reinforcing over here. See?
You want to take a
Like
closer look?
construct. Yeah, keep your gun ready.
Sure, I'll pull up as close to it as I can get safely.
How long have we been driving at this point?
You drove away from the bunny for about 5 minutes, and you kept driving for another couple minutes. Then you turned and went this way for a good 10 minutes, about 15 minutes.
Okay. Still empty on magic. Alright. So I'll hop out. I want to examine this structure.
You gonna pull the vines away?
Yeah.
I have my gun out just in case.
The vines here are really strong. Do you have anything to cut them away with?
Any of our sample collecting gear?
Okay. That would be the botanist's gear.
Yeah. Sandra, could you give me a hand?
Yeah. What do you need?
I want to clear away these vines.
Okay.
Chainsaw?
Chainsaw.
She has one.
She does. That's why.
Yeah.
Did we put the damage for the chainsaw down? Yeah, we did. Okay, good.
We did.
Yes.
All right. What do you need?
Here, and I step back.
Do you want it like in any particular shape or something, or just like
Off.
cleared out? Okay.
Off is the shape, yes.
You begin pulling, like as she's cutting, you're pulling away, and you unveil what looks to have been a building. It looks like there were walls made out of worked osmium, and it's just been flattened. It's like the vines grew up around it and then pulled it into the ground. Roll me engineering.
Yes. 35 of 50.
So the way it's buckling was definitely the vines grew up over it and just pulled down at the support beams.
Mm-hmm.
And all the inner support beams have popped out, and one of them happened to jut up, and that's the one you saw, but you're able to find the rest of them in the building. And this was a fairly large building, probably about a 20 by 15 meter building. Single story, but single story about 15 feet, so about 5 meters tall.
So a nice vaulted ceiling.
Pardon?
Vaulted ceiling or attic crawl space.
It doesn't look like there were any other floors, so it looks like, just it had a tall but flat ceiling.
Mm-hmm. And it's like rubble now. There's no way in. It's just rubble.
Yeah, there's no doors. You'd have to have something that could cut
Yeah.
through the osmium to see what's inside.
What are your neighbors without the speaker system?
Okay, I'm making
It's-
sure it's not thunder because the dog's outside.
No, it's the new neighbors
No,
showing off their car speakers.
What, the ones over there?
Yeah, the ones over there.
Vampires?
You know, the ones who like to make... No, the ones who like to make donuts in the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, that's the vampires.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're only ever out at night.
You have cul-de-sac donut making vampires. All right.
They moved in at like 9:30 at night, and we only see them at night.
That's fine. It's just funny.
And they destroyed their car's tires by doing donuts in our cul-de-sac.
All right. So this is a building.
Yeah, I'm getting more and more convinced that this plant life is a parasite.
Oh.
Everything inside me screaming, no, right now.
That's
Yeah.
probably the right reaction.
So yeah, this is a building that's been crushed down by the plants. So yeah, I'm getting the vibes that the plant life and the planet life are two distinct entities. Sort of vying for control, with the plant being some sort of infection.
Seems accurate. Shall we keep moving?
Are we going into the building?
I mean, it's collapsed. There might be a space behind it, but we'd have to cut through that osmium to figure it out.
I mean, I don't think I have anything that'll cut through osmium. I'm sorry.
What were the bunnies doing before when we were looking through winds? What were they doing?
Hopping around at the table,
Okay.
on the ground, just being playful bunnies.
Okay.
I have something in my inventory that's abbreviated because it was really long and it just says SAK and I don't know what that was.
Figure it out. Standard something kit?
It's something kit, I'm assuming. It'll probably be in the equipment modern equipment.
Recommend you look at that.
I don't have the PDF.
Have to worry about it later then.
Yeah.
That's your old note-taking's fault right there.
Look how much space I've got filled up. I had to narrow something down.
Look how much space I got filled up.
Anyway.
I know. And I said, look, I'm looking.
He's a prepper and a hoarder.
She.
No, you are.
You,
as a
player.
person.
As an individual.
I'm not a prepper as a player. What are you on about?
Anyway, regardless. So yes, you just carrying on then?
Swiss Army knife. That's what it is.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, that's not cutting through osmium.
I mean, we could try to make another shape charge if we wanted, but I don't know that there's anything valuable underneath it.
No, we should just keep moving.
I wonder if there's a way. To determine it. Do we have any of the geologist sounding gear with us?
I feel like Wynn would have taken his gear with him.
I mean, Wynn was taken.
Do we have any of the
He would have had the gear out with him though, taking samples. And
I don't think we took any of it though.
Can I make an engineering roll to see if I can whip up some sort of like rudimentary sounding device?
Sure.
Like maybe
You can roll me engineering roll to design one, yeah.
Actually, probably like using my helmet, and
Yeah.
the microphone in it. 46 of 50.
You can design one. Someone with mechanical repair would have to build it.
I have mechanical repair as well.
Roll me a mechanical repair.
Actually, what's your mechanical repair, William?
65.
Actually, yeah. Gore,
Or 63, but yeah.
could you do this for me, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And basically, like I imagine it's like
Second.
using the helmet and like some sort of remote tapping device over it, so that all the sound that echoes back is going to catch by the microphone.
Yeah.
And amplified in the helmet.
All right. Roll mechanical repair, I guess. 45.
It's all about modifying the receiver and the helmet, honestly.
Yeah.
You're able to determine that there's the ceiling to this, and then there's, as you move it around, distinct shapes of a lot of the osmium is pressed together, but
Yeah.
you can find gaps and then a floor that's also made of osmium. It looks like a lot of the stuff in here was made of that. There's also, going through it, some sort of much more brittle material.
Is there any like space behind it, or is it just solid?
It's solid. There wasn't a basement to this room.
Okay, so
It's just, it was this, and then the ceiling came down, and everything in between just became a sandwich.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So no, there's nothing on the other side of it. From this.
Let's keep moving towards our target then.
Yep. All right.
Everyone's back in the Jeep.
Back in the Jeep where it's safe.
Safer.
Yes, safe is relative.
Yeah, it's relatively safe.
Keep heading towards the source.
All right. Also, roll me physics real quick.
That I can do very easily. 9. 9 of 80.
Just so you're aware, osmium is the most pressure-resistant known metal to man.
Yeah. So the plants
Period.
are really tough.
Um,
The plants are definitely an eldritch being, is what
Yes.
I'm saying.
just clarifying it.
Yeah.
It's not the hardest material, but it's very hard to just
Crush.
squeeze.
Yeah.
Crushing it's one thing, but actively compacting it, because if that was a room, that means that parts of it were compacted and pressed down and
Yeah.
flattened out.
Because crushing also involves like grinding and separating it, which
Because
is not
crushing
as-
can buckle.
Yeah.
Buckling is one thing. Osmium can buckle because it's, especially if it's worked osmium, which we don't do much because there's not a lot of it. You could theoretically have it buckle more. But
Plants are super tough because they're an eldritch abomination. Got it.
reinforcing what you already know.
Yes.
This is some bad stuff.
Mhm.
All right, you keep going, and you reach a valve At this point, the plants have grown into what looks like is at one point a trifold valve that's blowing this air in and out. But the plants have actually locked this valve open. And a small creek is pouring out of it.
A small creek of what?
A small creek of strange green liquid that looks shockingly metallic, sort of like
Scoop
gas.
that up in a glass vial. Click.
Don't drink it.
I'm not drinking it.
That'd be a really bad idea.
I am scooping it up in a vial.
Roll
Okay.
me, make me a look.
Yes, to test.
Not to test, because I
Not
know
to
what it
test?
is.
What is it?
And then make me
66, which is above my luck total.
a dexterity.
32, which is below my dex.
All right. So you're very steady and calm as you push it, but you accidentally do make a ripple when you first touch down.
Yeah.
And as the ripple goes out, it begins expanding. And towards the end of it, this green stuff is just flying into the air all around you. Thankfully, it was just a ripple, so it's only magnifying the force way out as it expands.
Yeah.
But
It's the liquefied version of the green gas,
Ah. Okay.
which means this will be useful.
you may want to. Your brain says treat this like nitroglycerin.
Yes. Very, very careful. Get a geometrically stabilized containment unit, put it in, close it.
All right.
Have one vial of liquefied green gas.
It definitely seems to the being liquefied definitely seems to exaggerate its properties.
Yeah, I imagine it would. Because the liquefied, the gaseous form is fairly easy to handle.
Yeah, I mean like because there's not a lot of weight behind it.
Yeah.
You can throw it and it'll expand its own inertia, but.
But it's barely, there's not enough.
It's,
there's not enough,
it,
there's not enough
it goes
gas
from
there.
being a soft breeze to a very, very strong breeze.
Yeah. there's not
And,
enough
I mean,
gas there.
we've noticed how the solid form amplifies even further in Garjan's mace.
So,
Well, you've noticed that the hardened version of the gold gas amplifies very strong, as in stopping a railer bullet.
Yeah, we've also
dead.
seen Garjan swing his mace, though.
yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
This is a one-use grenade.
So we throw it, it explodes.
We throw it and everything that it comes in contact with explodes, yes.
So throw it far.
Yes.
With your knowledge of physics, splashback won't be a problem.
No, splash
Because
back
it'll
won't
just
be a
it'll
problem.
go
just
the
go
direction
over.
you throw it. You could throw it at somebody a foot away from you and it'll hit that person and then...
And then the person behind them and the person behind them.
Well, the longer it has to go, the worse it'll be for them. Because the
Yeah.
more time it'll have to build up this.
It should, theoretically, it should also be really easy to aim.
Just,
Because it'll just keep going in that direction. Because that's the inertial, that's the inertia that's been applied to it.
Imagine if you put it in a railgun.
green railgun.
Cora, what can your railgun load?
Anything magnetic.
The liquid isn't magnetic, is it? Probably not. Gotta put magnets on. How big of a thing?
Railer shells like yay big.
No. It shoots BBs that are
Tungsten, I believe.
about...
Yeah, like tungsten.
Pea size.
Tungsten beads.
If I were to dip some of this green stuff onto a BB, would it work?
That's a great question. You haven't worked with the liquid form yet.
Yeah, okay, cool. Science! Science will be
I
done.
am right on the material. They're tungsten beads, right?
I don't remember.
It's like you put the syringe in through the top of the vial.
Yeah.
Very
I thought you
lightly
had
pull
mentioned them
up.
being like tungsten carbide or something like that.
Take chances, make mistakes, get messy.
Yeah, that's what science is all about.
Where's that from? Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
I don't know where it's from.
Tungsten is not magnetic, so no.
Nope.
Sorry, it's made of iron.
Okay, yeah.
They're iron.
Anyway.
Iron beads.
So yes,
Fair
we have
metals.
we have a thing that will be very potentially deadly to one person.
What? or two. You can hit two creatures.
I mean, potentially very deadly to one person, potentially very deadly to subsequent persons as well.
Yeah, like if they're like really close together.
Or just in a line.
Yeah, we could line them up.
Anyways, yes, acquired that. Also, be careful when driving around this, as we really don't want our tires to hit it.
No, we don't.
Does this valve seem to be the way we need to go, or?
It's a direction. It's a doorway.
How wide is this valve?
Could we get the Jeep through it?
It's cavernous, so it's
Okay.
a good like 10
Okay.
meter.
Could we get through it without touching the green?
It depends on how very, very carefully you drive, because the green is obviously coming out at the very bottom, and your tires will be around it. It's trying to get the tires over the creek part that's going to be tricky.
I'll drive very carefully. Very slowly if need be.
I mean, I assume there's a point where the creek has diffused enough that it's not there anymore because we didn't see it when we were coming up.
Yeah, there's a part where it definitely goes into the soil. So you're just basically, if you
So,
want
like,
to, you
line
can
it up there.
line it up and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Line our wheels on the other side of the
that'll be a drive check probably.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah. Make a drive check.
Once you're in the tunnel, it's not that bad because it's just drive straight.
Yeah.
Let's get up to the tunnel.
Don't get startled.
Make a drive check. 1!
Ha ha!
Good thing that one didn't roll over.
You line it up like a beast, just straight.
Need to check my drive auto.
Check drive auto.
Just casual, arm out the window style, just one-handing.
Well, she's driving one-handed because her left hand is on her railer.
It's like, da-da-da-da-da-da. If I see anything move, I'm gonna shoot it. Yeah. You drive down the tunnel.
She's sort of ambidextrous, but she's definitely got a left-hand lean.
So, once you enter this tunnel, the airflow is massive. And as you enter the tunnel, a lot of this bronze gold gas appears to be in the tunnel. Weirdly,
Keeping the green inert.
keeping the green inert because the green's not being blasted by this wind.
Yeah.
And because the bronze gold stuff is weird, it's not being pushed by the wind. Which is odd because
we're still feeling the wind.
you're still feeling the wind, and you specifically recall in the village they had a giant fan spinning
Yeah.
that was pushing the gas out of the way.
Well, the green gas was also mixed in, so I imagine the green gas is always pushing the orange gas out.
Potentially. You're not sure.
While the orange gas is keeping the green liquid inert, can I gather some more?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hold on, stop the Jeep for a second. Get out 5 vials. More of these, please. Put them into I imagine I've got like one of those like cylindrical stabilizers.
So
Like,
as
can
you
hold,
open
like,
up your
6
your
all
stabilizer box, it fills up with the bronze gas.
That's good. Actually, that's
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah. Open it, fill it with gas, and I bet you can probably hold like 6 probably vials.
Oh, yeah.
So close it with the gas inside.
It's a lunchbox full of gas and liquid.
Yes, a lunchbox full of orange gas, keeping the green liquid from exploding inside it.
Yeah.
I've suddenly made a much more stabilized carrying device than it was previously.
Yes.
Okay, so now we've got 6 of these. So if that red thing is dangerous, hopefully we have a means to combat it.
We'll
If
find
you
out,
set
won't we?
these down, will they blow up what you set them on?
No.
Okay, it's just if you throw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though and it's not passing through the orange gas.
What if like one of them like falls and hits the ground?
It would burrow into the ground probably.
Okay.
But the orange gas is inside this case now, so it's stabilizing it, so it wouldn't do that.
Okay. Okay. Good to know.
You speak like an authority.
Yes. I speak with the authority of whatever I've got.
Yeah. I've observed this for a whole day.
he sounds like he knows what he's doing, so that's good enough for her right now.
90% of science is guessing.
Guessing and then seeing if you're right.
Yeah.
So far, haven't blown a limb off or blown the Jeep apart.
Guessing with authority. That's all that matters.
All right.
I mean, the first step of the scientific theory is hypothesis.
Yeah.
You are making a hypothesis and you are sticking to it.
Yeah, we're testing it now. I'm not going to go shake, 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 though.
Let me just shake this briefcase of bomb.
So, put it carefully.
Shake, shake!
We're still operating under
Mischief makers.
All right. You continue down the tunnel.
Oh, this is like the orange gas is total. Like I'm thinking of the stuff like the block faces from Mischief Makers now being applied to this gas.
Mischief Makers, weird game.
It was such a good game though. It was weird, but it was fun and it was good.
All right, so you carry on. You're traveling, and the passage begins branching off, left to right.
Which way is the airflow coming from?
Yes.
Which way is the river going?
Which way is the river coming from?
Yes.
So I'm not going to be able to drive this thing without passing over the river. But fortunately, the river is being stabilized by the gas.
Our doctor has a knowledge of biology that would be able to inform this, Miss Joyce.
Somebody else has a knowledge of
I have
biology.
a knowledge of
Oh,
biology.
Tell me biology.
So does our bot.
Turns out the botanist is a branch of biology.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that was 90 of 70.
You want to spend 20 luck?
Hold on. The scientist will make his medicine roll. Yeah, he made it.
Okay.
The scientist will inform you that if it's operating under the same principle as lungs do, any single one of these passages will narrow out into a capillary, which will meet where blood would be oxygenated.
So either direction works.
Yeah, as long as you go down, if you go down a line far enough, you will theoretically get to a point where you will run into the bloodstream.
Well, let's pick a direction then.
Out of curiosity,
Always left.
out of curiosity, because it's a thought that I've never actually had. Are human lungs symmetrical?
Mostly.
Humans are mostly symmetrical. Not perfectly, but mostly.
A lot of things in the human body are symmetrical-ish.
The exterior, not so much. The interior.
That's why you can't do like a perfect like flip on one side of the face and get the same thing. Because the faces aren't perfectly symmetrical.
Yeah, like my right eyebrow is
The-
higher than my left.
The right lung has more lobes than the left lung. The left lung also has a heart in it, which takes up space.
So we want to go left. Oh wait, no, we want to wait. Hang on. Now we have to determine which way this chest is facing.
You also don't know which lung you're in.
Always left.
But what if it's right?
We're going left.
If we're facing down and the right's the left lung,
I'm just gonna go left.
go left.
He's trying to theorize. You've already driven. You're just doing where to go right now. All right, you drive down, and the throbbing beat that's been ever present is growing louder and louder.
Are we still hearing the smaller one?
The
We're hearing two
the
heartbeats.
slower one.
Yeah, no, we were hearing two heartbeats.
You were hearing
the louder,
a faster,
the slower one.
a fast regular heartbeat, and then a slow throb.
Yeah.
They are both becoming louder.
Okay. Cool.
The plants are all down this way, of course, until eventually you see before you a river flowing through a canal that is. It looks like you're looking at it through glass, but there doesn't appear to be any sort of barrier to hold this up. It's just flowing past you,
What
in
color
front of
is
you.
it?
It is green
Cool. And so it's
and gold.
oh, green and gold.
It's primarily green, but there are streams of gold in it.
Okay.
So it's both of these liquidized
Is
gases.
this like Moses split the Red Sea? Like it's flowing past us?
in front of you.
Yeah.
It's like that scene from
Yeah.
Ten Commandments where it's
Yeah.
just wall of liquid filling up this what looks to be a canal. And the passage, by the way, is narrowed down to get. You could barely fit the Jeep through here.
Are there any creatures inside the liquid, like fish or anything?
No, but the liquid's opaque, so you can't see
mean,
anything.
is there any-
And the plants go into it.
Is there any loose osmium or like loose rubble or anything around?
No.
No.
What do you think the odds are of driving this Jeep straight into that? I mean, I don't like the chances, but I'm curious if you do, Science Man.
I don't know that there are streaks of orange in the green, which leads me to believe that it might be inert. However, it is currently ignoring the laws of physics in that it is not filling up the space it is in, which leads me to believe it is not inert.
Everything on this planet ignores the laws of
I
physics.
mean, yes, but working with what we've got. If we had something loose that we didn't care about losing, we could probably do a quick test.
What's in the duffel bag of your junk?
I throw one of my disposable respirators at it.
It enters and gets washed away.
Does it get washed away like it would with normal water, or does it shoot off like it would when connecting with the green liquid?
It's like you threw it into whitewater rapids.
Okay.
I now have 2 disposable respirators left.
Does that tell me anything?
It tells you that it's behaving like liquid normally
Okay.
would. That's just flowing very fast.
Okay. So it's behaving like liquid normally would, it's just flowing really fast in a non-standard direction. Sandra, you have any
biology,
ideas?
Sandra.
As I asked Sandra if she has any ideas.
2.
This, if it's supposed to be blood, the movement is not consistent with the heartbeat. It's just constantly moving.
The movement isn't consistent with the heartbeat.
There's a child awake.
Oh yeah,
Fussy.
Griffin's been fine.
Okay.
Which would lead you to believe that this would not be a proper anatomy of what the heart's supposed to be.
But, I mean, we're working with the planet.
You are.
So it could not be blood. It could just not be like normal kind of blood.
Let's assume.
Sorry.
That's right. Let's assume that the green and let's assume that the green and orange gas / liquid is not blood, because it doesn't. It already behaves in ways that aren't consistent with it being blood, anyways. For instance, it being on the outside of the creature in a gas form. We don't have clouds of blood surrounding us. Is there any...
thought going for one moment. Those are concerning noises.
Yeah, I'll just keep theorizing while things are happening upstairs. So, let's assume it's not blood, because it doesn't share any of the properties that blood would normally share with a being, regardless of the size of the creature. What else could it be that flows through any other biological creature's anatomy? Could be nutrition, which means it could be water, like drink. Which means we could be why is it in its lung system? Although we're just assuming it's lung system because of the pressurized release and intake of air. We could be in the giant intestinal system rather than lungs, which would make sense considering that we're operating under the assumption that the human beings are sacrifices to feed it, whatever it is. So what if these are gastrointestinal fluid? Maybe? Operating on a level that allows it to digest or convert whatever it gets into the nutrition that it needs.
I mean, Would this being water be consistent with the gases on the outside being sweat?
Yes, actually. So not blood, but water. Carrying its excess. It's sweating out this stuff. So the plant life might be, if it's here, either this is offshoot, this is just excess from digesting the people that it's digesting, or it's something else to aid in the digestion.
So that's either a river of stomach acid or a river of piss.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, I don't know that we want to drive through it, if there's a way around it.
I have to wait for the keeper to find out if there's a way around.
Yeah, I don't wait for the hero to say there's a way around it or not. Also, there are no shields. There are no sides to this.
No, there's nothing to keep us from flying out.
So,
We may have to abandon the Jeep, which I'm not fond of.
but even without the Jeep, there's no way for us to get through that. I pointed our doctor, who has recently performed surgery on himself.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way he's going to get through that on foot.
Yeah, I mean, he's growing.
We've determined that if not blood, the liquid we're looking at is either stomach acid or piss. One of the two. It's or not to be clear, liquid excess, like liquid excretions,
Yes.
because the gas on the surface would be sweat or something like that.
Okay.
Is there a way around this funnel? Or beyond this funnel?
You've taken dozens of branching paths
Yeah.
at this point. You took the leftmost one each time, but
Yeah. How long have we been in this driving at this point, by the way?
about an hour.
Yeah, one magic point. So,
Everybody roll me listen.
I listened.
I'm going to check and see if I can see Card's video while I'm sitting here listening with a 19.
Hey, we made it
made
this
it.
time.
Yay!
20,
16.
22.
20. 28.
Alright. So, number one, you can't see Card's video anymore.
Okay.
Completely gone.
Can you still see winds?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So, the sound of the rustling behind you is stopped.
There were sounds of rustling behind us?
The leaves
Oh, it's
moving in
blowing.
the breeze.
Oh.
You're feeling the breeze at the moment,
The noise has stopped.
but you can see the leaves around you moving. But in the distance,
Okay, cool.
past the headlights,
So there's something
it's not.
behind us.
Oh, so ahead of us, you can't.
Oh,
you
ahead
can't
of us,
hear
we
the-
can't hear it anymore.
You can't. Yeah. Well, ahead of you can't hear because it's
Because there's a thing.
stream.
Yeah.
But behind you can't hear it anymore either.
Okay. Is there a way past this stream? Like in the room that we're in? Or is it just stream and that's the
It's
dead
just
end?
stream.
We've hit dead end.
Yeah.
We can try to brave it, though I'm not certain of our chances of getting... Actually, wait. You guys can see my feed, right?
Yep.
I throw my helmet into it.
All right.
Keep an eye on my feed. Let's see what happens.
I'll watch his feet of the helmet. See where it goes.
I like this plan. All right. So the feed turns the color of the liquid, and you can track it, the distance. It's moving at a pretty rapid rate downstream, and then it dumps out into a chamber that looks like the one that Card was in.
So what are you guys seeing?
Except that it's similar in design, but this one, as the liquid is dumped out, there's a ravine Roll me luck to see where this helmet lands.
24.
Oh.
Out of 53.
So when the helmet shot out, because it's lighter than this liquid, it shot out past it and rolled into the room. You can see that this liquid has been channeled into a ravine, and the rest of the room appears to look like a scientific laboratory. The way that the helmet is rolled is at an angle, so you can see a variety of tubes that have cuttings of the plants in them and what look to be equipment. But there's no one in here. There's also no plants in this room aside from these cuttings.
So, questions. When you say dumped out, is there a major drop, or does it just sort of spill out and stop flowing as a river?
So what it looks like...
Trying to figure out if Zach's character would survive going through it.
As far as you can tell,
I'm more trying to see if the Jeep would survive writing it down.
I did that too.
what it looks like is that this was a room that existed, and then a pipe burst and blew something through the wall. And they couldn't repair the wall, so they just built a channel in the room to channel it out. Based on the way that the room has been built and everything, it looks like this was done a long time ago, but you can definitely see a difference between the way that the channel has been dug and diverted and the design of the rest of the room.
Like, was there like a major drop coming out of the tunnel?
The room is about 10 meters high. This is about 20 feet up. So not a major drop. But 2 stories.
The Jeep could survive that, maybe.
Maybe.
We can tell. We can tell by the way the helmet acted that the water is inert. So
Yeah, it's behaving as liquid.
yeah.
Is there something beyond this tunnel, or does it just dead end after the river? Like, is there empty space beyond the river, or can we not see?
You're in a room. You can see the top of the room and some things you can't
We'd
see.
have to try to drive through it.
Yeah. The whole thing traveled a total of about
Actually,
200 meters.
Like, what I'm saying is, if I got enough forward momentum, could I pass through the river, and would there be something on the other side of
well,
the
we
river?
don't know because the
Or
helmet.
can we
The
not see?
channel?
Yeah.
I mean, the helmet did. So the way it
So
works.
I think so. Okay, hang on. What we're envisioning is that this river washed the helmet down a tunnel
Yes.
that was not the room we're in.
I'm seeing us heading this way, river going this way.
Yes.
Helmet hit the river and went straight
Yes,
down.
exactly.
I'm asking is if we hit far enough, is there something on the other side to pass
That we couldn't
into?
tell.
That you couldn't tell.
Okay.
Again, the liquid is opaque.
But if it's behaving like normal, if you guys share this information with me,
Yeah.
if it's behaving like
I
normal,
mean, you can all.
I don't. If my helmet's on
The Jeep has a way to feed to the rest of the helmets.
Cool, sweet. In that case, do we have anything particularly long?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
A 10-foot pole.
Something we could stick through and see if it goes through, see if it hits a wall or not.
I mean, can I use the hose of my air compressor?
It'll flow with the.
Yeah, it's not stiff.
Yeah.
You could probably stick your arm through it. But if it's longer than your arm, if it's deeper than your arm, then that doesn't help. Though I'm really interested in getting into that laboratory, so quite frankly, I'd be interested in following the river. But I don't know if the Jeep will go. I don't know if the Jeep will follow it.
How long is my baton?
Your baton?
Yeah.
Probably about 3 feet once it's fully telescoped.
So at arm's length, that'd be about like a.
You're tall, so you probably got about 5 to 5.5 feet.
So if I like lean up against the wall and hold onto the wall and just stick my arm with baton through the river, do I hit anything on the other side?
So you stick the baton in.
Yeah.
Roll me a strength check to hold on to it.
Very succeed at 21 of 80.
All right. And then you stick your arm into it.
Well, first see how far that goes.
3 feet does not. You can't wiggle the end of the baton well.
Well, if I get washed down here, you guys know how to move the truck in.
Yep.
Please don't die.
Arm in.
You reach all the way. As you get to the shoulder, you're wiggling the baton, and you tap
Another wall.
you, not at the end of it, but you tap to the side and you hit wall.
Alright. So I pull my arm back out. There's definitely a wall on the other side. It's not quite.
Like, there's a tunnel. The tunnel continues.
Yeah.
So what if we just went through?
We can try that. Lock everything down in the Jeep and just drive through.
Yeah.
Sort of best bet.
Strap yourselves in, I guess.
Alright, we'll lock down all the stuff in the Jeep as much as possible. Can you hand me one of those breathers? I don't have a helmet anymore.
Yeah, here, I have one of the respirators.
Because I can breathe methane, I don't know if I can breathe liquid.
Yeah, you might find out real quick. So your goal is to, what, just drive into this?
I mean, I guess it's to, like, 90-degree police turn, like, into the tunnel, hard right, follow it down.
If possible.
So you're trying to follow the direction of the flow.
I guess.
You're not trying to go through this to the tunnel on the other side.
No, there is.
Oh, there is a tunnel on
yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah,
side?
yeah.
No,
That's
let's
why,
try to
that's
go
why.
there.
That's why you didn't touch anything when you jabbed
Yeah,
out.
okay,
But when
so
you
yeah,
hit to the
I
left,
was-
there was
When
a
you
wall.
hit to the,
Okay, yeah.
the right side,
So, yeah,
it tapped a wall.
let's force through to the tunnel on the other side then.
Yeah.
Theoretically, that should just require us to build up a little bit of momentum to force through.
So, here's the deal. Your Jeep, about just under 5 feet wide. The tunnel that this is breaking into, just about 5 feet wide.
We're gonna have
We're
to
going.
walk.
We're
aren't
going
Yeah,
perpendicular.
you're going straight. So
Okay.
getting in there without scraping the heck out of the Jeep is already going to be difficult.
I mean, if we lose a mirror, I'm not too worried.
It's best to try and see.
All right. You going to try to build up speed and crash through it, or drive steadily through it?
I'm worried about the river taking us off course if we just move slowly through it.
So you're just going to try to crash through and see what happens?
Yeah, if I lose a mirror, I'm okay. But
Roll me driving.
Here,
Drive.
actually, hang on. Stop. Before you do that, let's do this. Everyone that's injured, get out of the Jeep, and we'll see how the Jeep survives.
except how you're gonna get the injured people through the river at that point?
If you can get through, you can come back.
Maybe. Backing up's not as fast.
No, it is. It's an all-electric car.
Yeah,
It
it is
goes
fair.
just as fast in reverse as it does forward.
It does.
So get everybody out except for Gora.
Actually, how much push did this river feel like it had when I stuck my arm into it?
You know, have you ever seen whitewater
A lot.
rapids?
A lot of
Yeah.
push.
A lot.
A lot of push.
How heavy is this Jeep?
1,300, 1,400
Do I think
pounds?
this Jeep is light enough to be pushed down the river?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna get everybody out, and then let you go, and see if you can get through.
Well, because if I go slow, I'm gonna get pulled off course.
Absolutely.
So I have to ram through. I succeed though.
On your driving check,
Yeah. My drive check is 40, so I rolled 32.
roll me luck at 5th.
So
Oh,
extreme
that's
luck
real
roll.
That's gonna be.
Good thing we got everybody out
17. is
and
my
everything
luck.
out.
Nope. I did not make 5th.
Okay.
I made luck, I didn't make 5th. I made hard, I didn't make extreme.
Yeah, so you drove on course, you didn't smash into any walls until you hit the river,
Yeah.
and then the wheels lifted off the ground, and you couldn't stop the Jeep because you already entered, and the Jeep gets smashed into the wall,
Are we in it?
No.
No, just go right.
and then bent in half, and then dragged, and you spent about the next 20 seconds rolling down the river.
Oh.
Make me another luck roll to see how badly you get banged up.
I'm succeeding my luck by a good bit.
What'd you make?
Hard.
You made hard, not extreme? Okay. We will downgrade that to a D3. You take 1 point of damage as
Cool.
you roll in
Anything with an
Jeep
eraser.
debris, and for about 15 seconds as you get shot out the side. Is there any sort of
It is an
acrobatics or tumbling skill to help you land?
Dodge.
Dodge.
There's dodge, jump, dodge, jump, climb,
I'll-
survival, swim, throw, track.
I'll accept jump as a roll.
That was my jump. Base jump.
20%.
I literally 20 of 20.
20 of 20? Alright. As you shoot out the end of this tunnel, you land not the worst in a roll. You're alive. Roll me luck again.
Could you check your video feed and see what happened? to
28 of my 85.
The Jeep
check
does
your
not
video feed,
hit
see what
you
happened to Gora?
coming out behind you.
Sandra's...
Yeah, that didn't work over the comm.
Okay, yes. Sandra was trying to check the video feed to see what happened to Aurora.
Well, she's now standing in a room next to the wreckage of a Jeep.
So we no longer have a Jeep.
And we lost the Jeep.
Well, the good news is...
Well, how
Where's the
how
leg?
wreckage of Jeep? Like we're talking structural damage or
It was bent in half and
Yeah,
then propelled at around 40 kilometers an hour into osmium flooring.
It's pretty banged up.
Okay.
The floor is also pretty banged up.
It's not drivable.
It also smashed through a couple of these test tubes.
I will say, though...
Also, you made noise.
what's in those test tubes?
The wreckage of the Jeep is still safe.
Yeah.
Because the symbol doesn't care.
I don't know if the hood's not attached to the Jeep anymore.
I mean, yeah, anything under the hood is fine. It's like
You'd have a shield.
Yeah, you have a shield.
I mean, if I need to pick it up as a shield, I will.
Okay. I'm not sure what you expected to happen, but
Or how we were getting
Sandra just asked a question.
What was the question?
No, I mean on what will happen if we drive through it, and then
Sandra asked a question and we found out.
yeah, I didn't mean first. Just
Okay,
wondering.
so... Oh, there's only one way to go now.
Well, what's in those test tubes now that they've been busted open?
so a couple of the large, like, human-sized tubes, they were holding large chunks of plant. Looks like big chunks of root to you.
I mean, does it look like the interiors of the stitched?
You haven't really examined that stuff much yourself, so...
I'm going to secure my journal in my jumpsuit. Zip it up. Zip everything up as much as possible. Have the rebreather on.
I will actually pick up the hood as a shield.
It's awkward as heck to use. There's no arm holds on it, but
I'm strong.
We're not going to be able to take all this stuff with us.
The duffel bag got carried through the Jeep.
You didn't know. You know, I said you unloaded.
I said I unloaded everything. Duffel bag's out here with us.
We had all the stuff strapped down. We unloaded the people.
No, I unloaded all my
he
stuff.
took the stuff out because
Yeah,
he cares about his stuff more than you.
yeah. Tell Gora that we're sending the duffel bag through. See if it.
Gora,
lands.
we're sending the duffel
Please
bag
carry the
through.
duffel bag with you. It's heavy and full of
Please
stuff.
carry.
None of us can.
Ye can.
Ye's injured.
Oh yeah, how we can get you
Duncan
back
can.
now?
You want to make me an idea roll?
Sure.
I'm talking specifically to John right here.
Yeah, I'll make an idea roll.
Okay, Duncan can definitely carry the duffel bag.
20% out of 85.
Entering rapids is dangerous.
Yeah.
Entering rapids with loose debris is borderline idiotic.
Yeah. No, like the bag, carrying the bag can kill somebody.
The fact that Gora didn't get crushed by the Jeep as it flew out the back is entirely miraculous.
Yeah, no.
Pure luck.
No one's carrying that duffel bag down. It's going to go down on its own, or it's not going down at all. Anything you can't hold on to, you can't take with you. And there's just too much stuff in that duffel bag for somebody to hold it.
Alright, well, most of it's sturdy. Send it down.
Toss the duffel bag in.
Don't roll it in, you idiot.
Nope, he already tossed. Where are you standing, Gora?
I walked off to where the jeep rolled and picked up the shield and walked to the side.
Let's see what happens with the duffel bag. This is good because now we can determine how we need to enter the rapids.
Okay.
I am watching from Gora's point of view.
Yeah.
You're watching from Gora's point of view.
Popcorn.
Watching duffel bag right by you.
Hey, Gora, think fast.
Go pick it up and see how much of the stuff is intact.
Oh.
Make me a luck roll and tell me what success level you make.
I made 1.
You made 1?
Yeah.
Alright, so what happens is the duffel bag actually shot into one of these giant things full of liquid. It was an empty one. It shattered the glass, and the liquid seems to have, the briny, semi-transparent green liquid seems to have stopped all the impact, and it just poured out on the floor. It's waterlogged, but otherwise no damage.
Oh, you guys are so lucky. Or I'm so lucky, I don't know.
Alright. So we don't
Yeah, you're gonna get shot out of that thing, so be prepared to try and arrest your fall.
somewhere. Okay, so
What if we just, like, roll through it? Will that be easier?
You could try to swim through it to keep better.
Oh, she was thinking, like, lay on her side and go, whee!
That would
That
probably
would
accelerate
be
you further.
The bad plan.
Okay.
That would make
probably.
you shoot further.
yeah, we want to find a way to arrest our movement as much as possible. With the things that we have, with the things that we have available that we took off the Jeep, is there any way I could cobble together some sort of like a shield, not a shield, but like a ring that would like expand the amount of surface area to sort of slow down the descent.
I mean, the hood of the car would have worked great for that.
I mean, yeah,
but
I'm assuming that our fragile materials aren't going to make it through this. So anything that I could cobble off of our analysis sets and stuff like that, that I could make some sort of like weight, some sort of
engineering
weight.
at half.
Yeah. Particularly something, if it only works a couple times, that's fine. No, 44, which is under 50, but not under 25.
Yeah, you've got mostly that duffel bag would be really useful right now.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it.
Especially if you had a rope in it.
Yeah. All right.
Hilariously, I think the one thing she doesn't have in there is just lengths of rope, because that wasn't the thing that was on the equipment list to buy.
So
Rope would have been real helpful.
So here's what we're going to need to do. Those of you that have helmets are going to need to... Basically, you're going to be crawling. Using the side of the river to sort of slow your descent as much as possible. Probably want to let Duncan take Yi down, so that Yi can just hold on to Duncan, and Duncan can muscle flex his way down. Those of us that are more able-bodied are going to have to do it on our own.
Just to clarify, if you're trying to slide against the wall, the Jeep's wheels couldn't maintain traction against the wall.
Well, yeah, but the Jeep got lifted up. I'm talking about, we're going down a tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're funneling down. I'm talking about, grab the side of the wall, dip in, let go, and, use friction against the walls to slow down.
Oh no, without
Or
climbing
any
gear, that should include a length of rope.
Or any sort of grab holds that you might be able to find. To sort of use the wall of the tunnel that you're being shoved down to slow your track, to slow your
Get what you're saying.
Yeah. Not the floor, the wall.
I get what you're saying.
That's the only way I can think of to get, unless I can get an idea roll for something else. Because that's the only way I can think of to get that we would be able to possibly get down safely.
But it's safe anyway. So what you guys doing?
Swim through?
Let me a swim check.
Yeah, I guess basically it's the difference between a swim or a climb check, I guess.
I mean, so a rail shot isn't going to make nearly as much noise as the car crashing through did.
No, it's not.
So I'm going to,
I rolled
really
a
quick,
D20.
I'm going to shoot one of those piles of plant matter real quick to make sure it's not moving.
You're gonna shoot one of the point blank.
Not point blank, like from a distance, because I don't want that thing to try and attack
You
me.
knew we're coming down, right?
Yeah. But I'm trying to make sure you're not going to get,
What'd you
land on one of the piles of plant matter and get attacked by it.
94
94.
of 20.
Cool.
Like that.
Awesome.
So that's a fumble.
Step 1, roll me luck.
Because if you have less than 50 in a skill and you roll above 90, it's a fumble. If you have 50 or more, you have to roll above 95 to get a fumble.
Okay.
Or no, just 99.
28 of 60 for luck.
Cool. You don't hit Gora.
Okay.
Roll me jumping to see if you nail the landing. Because you fumbled your swim, it's going to be at 5th.
Well, that was 53, so no.
Awesome. You enter the room.
At high speed.
Roll me a d6.
4.
4. Awesome. You enter the room leading with your right shoulder,
Uh-huh.
and your arm smashes into the ground, and you feel some snapping, and you take 4 points of damage, and you're not sure if your arm is broken or fractured, but there's definitely something that's happened to it.
I'm at 3 HP right now.
Yeah.
Ah! Ow! Ow! Ow!
I'm going to try to climb down.
I'm going to see if I can do some first aid.
Hey, Gora!
Roll me
Ow.
first aid.
Bad idea. It was a bad
Roll me climbing.
idea.
33,
Nope, I failed the climb.
All right.
which beats my hard on first aid.
He's roll me luck.
Also, I want to do some first aid on myself.
53.
46 of 53.
53, yeah.
All right. You do not slam into the pair who are bandaging up their arms. As you fly by, roll me jumping. Let's see how you land. You regain 3 hit points.
100!
Oh! Roll me a d6. Reroll 6s. Let's see what limb goes through first.
6.
Let me roll that.
2.
Awesome. Not your head.
Good.
My casting arm is my left arm.
That's your right leg.
Okay, good.
You take 6 damage
Ow!
as you go into one of these containers that's already broken and smash into the wall and fall into shards of glass.
Oh.
Your suit is shredded and completely unusable, and you are bleeding from multiple parts of your body, and you appear to have completely broken your right shin.
Oh, that's one person who needs first aid before I do, so...
Ow.
That's what I get for fumbling the jump
Good for
check.
fumbling the jump check, yeah.
do first aid on him before I do first aid on myself, then.
What are you doing? Holly?
I get success. I don't make hard success,
I'm
but I
gonna
make
try
success.
to do first aid on myself.
Only one first aid roll allowed per injury. He already succeeded on first. Gore already made some first aid.
Oh,
on you.
on me.
Yeah, you got 3 points back.
You regain 3
I
points.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
You
You
regained
gained
3 points back, and your arm is your right arm is now usable,
It's a razor.
but not with significant
That's
strength.
Yes.
So, any strength checks that involve that arm will be made at half.
Okay.
I succeed. I don't make hard, but I succeed with first aid for him.
So if I don't have to roll strength, because that's gonna be really bad.
You regain 2 hit points,
Hey.
and the bleeding is stopped.
Now I'm at 6.
Whatever liquid it was appears to have antimicrobial properties and has caused some amount of sterilization of the wound. Your leg is splinted up.
Cool.
You have half movement speed.
We're gonna die here.
Now I use first aid on myself
Probably, yeah.
while he's coming down. While the rest of them are coming
All
down.
right. What are you doing, Rudy?
Leaving all of us to die.
I brought, like I said, I stuffed my journal in and I
Join
brought
the
the
party.
canister with me.
I'm fairly
So
certain that
I am
if I were
going to
leave all of
justify
you,
the 100
I'd be the
fumble
one to die.
in that I was
Myself.
protecting the canister.
Let's be frank, if that canister had come open,
Yeah, but it works.
it would have been hilarious. You could have blasted this chamber out.
That's why I took the damage.
I make hard on first aid myself.
Okay, you don't have any wounds, but you're getting 1 hit point.
Cool. I only took 1 damage. I'm still out low from the first fight. But
Does that sprained ankle
Writing.
qualify as a major
Right.
wound, or no?
There you go.
It's not a sprained ankle.
Does that broken ankle qualify as a major wound, or no?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Hers is a fracture, hers is not a major wound, yours is a bit worse.
Yeah. How did Duncan and what do you,
This isn't looking good.
I did suggest
No.
that Duncan take you
Duncan's
down.
gonna help
so.
you down.
No, this is.
I guess I'll follow Galadir's lead.
Try to climb.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Did Duncan manage to climb down?
Duncan holds on to you, dives in, one arm swims, comes out in like a swan dive, and lands in a perfect on-point roll, and gets up
with he in his arms.
with you.
Wow.
Show off.
To be fair, Gora did sort of that while
With a
dodging a car.
You didn't come out in a swan dive. You came out in a crumpled heap that just happened to hit the ground right.
I came out in a tuck and roll.
Alright, I'm on my way, so nobody be in the way, I guess.
Do you all clear the entryway
Mm-hmm.
for once, so you don't have to make a luck roll not to hit people?
As best I can.
Alright, you will find cover. Swimming, climbing.
If you don't have any points in it, they're both
yeah,
20.
they're both the same. Climbing.
Sure, I'll be climbing.
Nope.
Awesome.
61 out of 20.
You have no control.
You
Roll
didn't fumble though.
Yeah, roll me jumping.
Jumping.
Jumping to land.
Or jumping.
Probably also a 20 if you didn't put any points in it.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, it's also 20 if you don't put
It's
points in it.
at the bottom of the
Yep.
second column.
Yep, 20. Here we go. 31. Out of
Cool.
20.
Do you want to spend 11 luck points? To make it a success.
Yeah. No. That's a bit much. I'm
Alright.
running low on luck.
We'll do a d6 and let's see what limb comes through first.
Keep having to do first aid. It's a good thing I have a lot of first aid.
Reroll sixes.
6. Huh?
Reroll sixes. You don't have 6 limbs.
Don't roll a 1.
No, don't roll a 5.
A 5. Don't roll
5
a
is head.
4.
Awesome. Right arm.
Close. Hey, both of us. Right on.
Wow. The dice. This die likes you. So you come in arm first. You try to land in a roll and you just miss it. And you just skid your shoulder across. You only take 1 point of damage. You dislocated your shoulder.
I will try first aid.
Only first aid.
Wow, you're the lucky one. I make extreme on your first aid.
Nice. You reset the shoulder, and you regain that 1 hit point.
Alright.
That would better than expected.
Between first aid and diving down this whole endeavor took you probably a good 10 minutes.
I am looking around this science lab as the cuts sting a little bit on my body.
I would like to remind you that not only did you get cut, you dived into an alcohol-based
Oh
solution.
yeah, no. I know. The list sting a little bit is an understatement, okay?
I'm just gonna lay here for a little bit.
This was a great plan.
It was the best plan you guys have ever had.
Suggestion. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm never gonna hear things.
Alright,
like
well,
this.
you can investigate this science lab next week.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.